Portland presents TPP Wreckoning.
Tonight I make my stand down in Nashville, Tennessee. And I said, sweet gypsy magic, keep us sticking in there ain't nothing free. The rage moves in that room, it done put a spell on me. And I said, every night I see the same my dreams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TPP Wreckoning. I am your host, Christopher Billings, alongside my broadcast colleagues, Landon Miles and Wes Steele. And the culmination is tonight. Reckoning is upon us.
That's right, and we are here getting ready to kick off the show. You've already seen the pre-show with our other partners, and this will be a fun night. I think it's the first time that all three of us sat down together.
Yeah, it's the first time ever. So welcome to Reckoning, ladies and gentlemen. You got anything to add, Landon?
I'm just excited to be here with you two guys tonight. It's almost like a strike zone / frontline combination here. We should have pretty much good fun here tonight.
That is very true. We've got lots and lots of action coming up, and we're gonna actually show you right now. Up first, we've got Mark Lester and Damian Gamer. Damian Gamer has a guaranteed title opportunity in his near future, but Mark Lester challenged him a couple of weeks ago, and Lester is looking to, do something about Damian Gamer. But last time they were in the ring, Gamer just steamrolled. And then, of course, we have our Hardcore Championship, Hanzo Oshihara.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Hanzo Oshihara, Carnage, and James Braden, Hardcore Championship.
James shouldn't be there.
You gotta believe Dyer probably put him in there just to get somebody in TCO. And then we have our Tag Team Championships, exclusive DLC versus the Cocoa Bus, formerly known as the Chocolate Drops, changing their names due to a viewer that was in attendance live wanted them to change their name.
I don't know what was wrong with their old name. I like their old name better.
I like their old name as well. And then this is a match I'm kind of looking forward to. Sage versus Victor Yosef, the Adrenaline Championship. The last time we saw Sage and Victor Yosef in the ring together, Sage was on the losing end of things. He took the pile driver on the outside, which resulted in a minor concussion. And then we have the Internet Championship, Brickwall versus the current Internet Champion, Bryson. And Bryson has been on the losing end of a lot of things as of late. He hasn't been able to get the leg up on Brickwall, but he's hoping, that he can silence Brickwall tonight. And then my personal favorite, and I think everybody else is looking forward to this as well, Jordan Moore versus Die Hard version 2.0. The last time we saw these guys go at it was December 21st of 2011. And it was for the TPP title. Jordan Moore walked away victorious then. Will he walk away victorious tonight? And then for the main event, the TPP Championship, Adam D. Whitmore, the young man that has trained his entire life to wrestle, versus TCO's more or less apex predator, Scythe. Scythe is the man right now in TPP, and those two are going to tangle for the TPP Championship. And we are getting ready to get things underway. Mark Lester, Damian Gamer. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great match, and there's a lot of really exciting stuff going on tonight. There's a lot of really great matches. We're gonna see some sparks fly. It's going to be an exciting night.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And for Mark Lester, this is and me and you have talked about this a lot, Wes, but for Mark Lester, he's getting steamrolled by Damian Gamer right now. Gamer's coming in with a very hot head, and for Lester, he's trying to break into the business and let people realize that he's for real. Like we said, he's one of the nicest people ever. He's a former school teacher for crying out loud. So, I think, like we said, he's too nice to be a wrestler, but he's determined to be one. So,
well, and this could be his big break tonight. If he can pick up the win against Gamer here tonight, I mean, this is a career changer for him.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that Mark Lester's going to win tonight. That's who I'm pulling for, is Mark Lester.
I don't think Lester's got much of a chance. I'm going to go with Damian Gamer. That'll be my prediction. He's, like you said, he's been on a roll. He's got a head of steam. Having those wins, prior to having that advantage going into it, that's going to be a game changer. I'm going with Gamer.
All right. And then what about you, Landon? Who do you think's going to win, Damian Gamer or Mark Lester?
I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna let them fight tonight. So
not
I'm not
gonna
even
say.
gonna put. I'm not even gonna put. Keep my mouth shut on this one. So
He's gonna put his own name in the hat. He's pulling for his own victory tonight.
yeah, I'm gonna slide in the ring and take over the win. Watch.
Well, I think all the fans in attendance are the real winners tonight. I mean, they got to see those 3 amazing pre-show matches. They got to see Jerry Graham and Alex McNabb up in that broadcast panel, and Jerry Graham was definitely having some fun up there. But then we have these 7 matches on the main card. I mean, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and so this is going to be one of those nights that's going to be historic in every sense of the word.
And this, like I said, I mean, this sparks are going to fly. We're going to see some huge matches tonight. I mean, this is a big night for TPP.
Oh yeah, it's huge night, and every champion will be crowned tonight. And so Mark Lester, Damian Gamer, non-title, for Mark Lester, which at least he's on the main card though. So Mark Lester, Damian Gamer, and as you see, a basic circle with these two. I mean, Mark Lester, he's probably stronger than Gamer, I believe, but Gamer is more experienced in the ring than what Lester is. And as you saw from that backbreaker from Mark Lester, he's not looking like he's paid by the hour. He's coming out here to do the work and get the job done.
Get down to business. That's what you got to do. I mean, especially with Lester coming in here as the underdog, he needs to pick it up as soon as he can and see if he can't steal one early here from Gamer.
Exactly, and that would be the ideal way to do it too. Is just catch Gamer catch him when he's off guard and just take him down. And again, though, the experience though from Gamer, I mean, he wrestled, Die Hard last year in September, and at that time Mark Lester was still doing developmental type things. So I mean, Damian Gamer was already on, a main show, and he was already getting main event type exposure. So for Mark Lester, to get this opportunity, like you said, he's got to strike fast, he's got to strike hard, and he's got to try to get that upset win. And big body tackles like that will definitely help to do that.
Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty back and forth match right now, but it seems like Damian Gamer's had most of this match to himself. I think Damian Gamer, it seems like he wants it more than Mark Lester right now.
Well, I think with Damian Gamer, part of it is I guess I can kind of understand. I mean, I'm not a wrestler, I mean, like Landon Miles, he's been a wrestler, but he's since retired. But I think what it might be for Gamer is Gamer looks at himself as the seasoned veteran, and we've got this young rookie coming in here trying to pick a fight with the seasoned veteran. And so I think Gamer's trying to, maybe make an example of Lester, but Lester's trying, like we were saying, Lester's trying to get his moment. He wants people to know he's for real. And so this is a unique environment for the both of them.
For sure, this is, and I mean, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. This is going to be a big night for a lot of people. I mean, this is going to be a career changer. This could change his entire career trajectory. I mean, if Lester could pick up the win here, that could catapult him into, a title picture for maybe even the internet of the TPP championship. We never know. But that would be it would be a quality win, and something like that goes a long way, especially in your first I don't want to say main event, but main roster position in a pay-per-view.
Exactly. I mean, there's some wrestlers that would possibly, I don't want to say kill, but they would do just about anything to get onto the main card, if anything, And it's one thing to be on the pre-show, which that in itself is a great thing too, but to get onto the main card, even if it is the opening matchup, that's super important because, like you said, that can change your entire career trajectory and make you.
It's a big word for you, Billy.
I'm a little tongue-tied. I'm very excited tonight. It's not a big word. I'm just very excited tonight. Big back chop there in the corner from Mark Lester. Going for the cover here. 1, 2, and a 2 count for Mark Lester on Damian Gamer.
Hey, Wes, I think you need to grab that dictionary by your feet.
You need something for him.
Oh, I see. Anyways, back to the action at hand. Mark Lester, big jumping knee drop there. As Mark Lester now... It looked like Mark Lester was going to start getting on the offense, but Damian Gamer able to turn it around with a foot DDT. And at this point, I mean, We're seeing Mark Lester staying down for extended periods of time, and he hasn't really taken that much damage from Damian Gamer. I mean, he's taken damage, but not large amounts or quantities.
As far as I've seen right now, Damian Gamer's pretty much working Mark Lester in this match.
Well, there's one fisherman suplex from Damian Gamer. I'm pretty sure I know what's coming up here. I think Damian Gamer might be looking for his 3 suplex combination. There's the second. Can he get the trifecta, the hat trick? You know, is he going to be able to do it? And Damian Gamer has him up and then drops him with that third modified suplex. Damian Gamer, like you said, you know, he's been in firm control this entire match. I mean, he's wrestling the match his way.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Mark Lester hasn't took the offensive yet. You think Mark Lester, as strong as he is, you think he would probably got on top by now, but right now it's not looking too good for him.
Well, exactly, and like that's what I was saying. I mean, I think part of it might be the rookie and veteran type scenario that they're in, you know, with Lester being the rookie. But like you said, I mean, he's strong. He's got a natural strength, and he should be able to do this. And Gamer here already looking for the leg switch there, and that's a signal of the end. You know, I mean, after the leg switch comes the game over, and Damian Gamer calling Lester to his feet.
I think it's over right here.
Oh, no, look at Damian Gamer faked him out there. Double underhook suplex there. A lifting double underhook suplex.
I think at this game it's just mind games, and again, you can't forget that this is Lester's first big shot. I think nerves are going to be a big part in what's keeping him back right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, Mark Lester's probably got more butterflies in his stomach than a lady on her wedding day, you know, because you know, and we've talked about this before, both on Frontline and Strike Zone, but a lot of these guys, these newer guys that came through, they just came in off the independent scene. They're used to wrestling in front of a crowd of maybe 75 to 100 people, going from that to a crowd of anywhere from 8,000 to 15,000 in attendance, you know, so it's a big changeover.
For sure.
I think Damian Gamer should be a part of exclusive DLC.
You know, there's been some discussion in the locker room about that as well. People, you know, both being gamers, and Damian Gamer there, making sure he's still stretched out, runs in here, big running drop kick in the corner. As unfortunately for Mark Lester, like we've been saying, I mean, he just has not been able to get out of the starting gates yet.
Yeah, and I think it's getting a little bit too far past you know, the point of no return, if you will, for Lester. He needs to get something going right now, or this is not going to go well. And that big back body drop's definitely going to help.
Yeah, most definitely. And Lester here trying to work on the arms of Damian Gamer, but I don't know. Like you said, I mean, he may be a little too far out to sea by now to really get something, you know, fully going. But like you said, if he's going to get something going, he's got to do it now. And just like that, runs into that hip toss type neck breaker by Gamer into the cover 2 and almost a 3 count there. And Lester barely got his shoulder off the mat.
Yeah, Lester's needs to continue to take offense in this match, or it's just not going to end very well. He's going to end up losing this match. He needs to show how much heart he's got in this match.
Well, as you see, I mean, Lester showing his strength. He's good at showing his strength with this hanging suplex, but like you said, I mean, he's got to show his will and determination here. He's got to do something to keep Damian Gamer down, because if he continues to let Damian Gamer just steamroll him like this, it's going to be a bad night for Mark Lester.
Well, not only that, he's just got to want it. I mean, you could tell when at the start of this match just how much Gamer loves what he's doing. Once he has the drive and determination to come out of the starting gate, even against somebody that in his eyes, he's just so much better than. So
yeah, exactly. And as you saw, I mean, Mark Lester is slowly starting to get a little bit of momentum, and I know that Mark Lester is going to watch this afterward, and I don't want him to think that we're trying to, you know, say anything negative about him, but he's got a. Well, wait a second, Damian Gamer. Oh, with the game over there, and that may be it.
that could be it.
He's limp.
Oh, Gamer's calling him back to his feet again for the second time here.
Is he going to hit him with it?
Oh my God, this is 2 game overs.
Oh,
This is, I mean, there's no way Mark Lester's going to kick out anyways. I mean, this matchup's over.
Yeah, he's done. It's
And for those of you that are Metal Gear Solid fans, this is called a time paradox here. This is 3 game overs at once. Solid Snake at that would mean that Solid Snake died in the game, by the way. 1, 2, 3, and Damien Gamer again steamrolled Mark Lester.
yeah. I would have been really surprised if we'd have kicked out of that last one.
Oh, I don't even think he would have kicked out of that first one. I mean, when Gamer did that first one, he dropped him, right on the top of his head there. So I don't think Lester was going to kick out, and hopefully Lester learned a valuable lesson tonight. If you're going to challenge somebody, you got to be ready. You got to be willing to, come out of the starting gates on fire. You can't have that slow, like diesel engine. You've got to be ready to go.
I think he was nervous. It's first pay-per-view for him. I think he's a little nervous.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, I'm not a wrestler, but if I was a wrestler, if this was my first, time at the dance, oh yeah, I would definitely be nervous.
and like I said, going into that match, there was just a lot riding on Lester there, and if he'd been able to pick it up, that would have been a huge win for him. But it's not like it's it's the end of the world for him either, because it did get him into that main card, and he's only going to go forward from there.
Exactly, and it's not a career destroying loss for him either. I mean, not taking anything away from Damien Gamer, or anything like that, because Damien Gamer is a top tier wrestler in TPP. I mean, he's the cream of the crop. But up next we have the Hardcore Championship: Hanzo Oshihara versus Carnage versus TCO's James Braden. Now, there's a lot of controversy with James. We all know this. Even Jerry Graham said that he didn't know why James was included in this matchup. Now, I'm pulling for Hanzo Oshihara. Okay, he's very passive aggressive, but I can only imagine what he's like in a hardcore environment. So, who do you guys think is going to win this Hardcore Championship? I mean, there's been former hardcore champions like Zach Cimararo, namely Jordan Moore, who's going to be in action a little bit later tonight. Jordan Moore held one of the longest hardcore title reigns in TPP history. Actually, it was the longest.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be a first for me. I'm actually going to agree with you, Billings. I'm a big Oshihara fan. Even with his passive aggressive style, I think you're going to see him go a little bit more extreme than you've seen him before. I'm picking him to walk out of here with the title.
And what about you, Landon? Who do you think is going to win tonight?
You know what? I like the way Carnage performs. I think I'm going to pick Carnage for this match.
And see, don't get me wrong, I like Carnage too.
But, I think, either one, Carnage or Oshihara, has a chance. James Braden just needs to go retire.
That's what I've been saying for the past 4 years now. It's Die Hard retired at the end of 2011. He retired from in-ring competition. James Braden is only a few years younger than Die Hard. I mean, granted, he hasn't had nearly as many injuries as what Die Hard has, but I don't know. I mean, with James Braden, he's like the third wheel in this matchup. Like I said, I don't understand why he was put into this matchup.
Oh no, look at this cocky little attitude he's got coming out here, though.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's definitely physically stronger than both Carnage and Hanzo, because he's 280 plus pounds. He's kind of chubby now. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm pulling for Hanzo, but I'm not going to take anything away from Carnage, because I think Carnage can do it. He's got a real hot head, which ironically he has red hair as well. So kind of hot head, red hair. A little play on words there.
Difference between Carnage and my favorite Oshihara in this match is really going to be exactly what you just said. It's like Carnage has that hot head. He's got a short fuse and a temper, and I think that's what's gonna be his fall in this match. Is he's gonna push a little bit too hard, too quick, and I just think that somebody else is gonna be able to capitalize on his mistake.
Exactly, and for those of you that don't know, if you haven't seen it on the Twitter, on the TPP ENT Twitter, Carnage had an incident in the locker room, and one of our locker room doors kind of got broke. So that's where the hot head, in case you were wondering where the hot head comes from. Carnage is he's not a big dude, he's not a very big guy, but he, like you said, he's got a very hot head, and he goes full force when he goes.
Well, and you don't need to be a very big dude to just sort of lose it and snap. He's just got a temper problem, and that's something that in a one-on-one environment, he might be able to use and capitalize, use to his advantage. But like I said, with the environment of having the triple threat, excuse me, I think it's gonna bite him.
And as you see, I mean, Hanzo immediately went to the outside. And James Braden here is brawling with Carnage, and that, I would have expected James Braden to, and I'm just being honest here, because it would be TCO fashion to get out of the ring and go sit down somewhere and just let the other two guys, beat up on each other. I mean, in theory, that's what somebody would do in a triple threat match, pick them apart. But with this being a triple threat, there is a rule exception to it. It's elimination. So if you get pinned, one person's going backstage, and then it'll be a one-on-one. So for those two, the final two, it'll be something unique. But this is interesting. Carnage and James Braden working together. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, Braden doesn't really work well with anybody. I mean, even moving back as far as when he left Jordan in that steel cage, he's got a track record of not being able to work well with others, not play well with others, if you will. But I mean, I guess like you said, in this environment, people could take advantage of the situation they're put in. I guess I could see him working with somebody else.
Oh yeah, and if anything, like you said, he doesn't work well with others. He doesn't play well with others. So what he's going to do is he's going to let that person help him work down either Carnage or Oshihara, and then he's going to stab them right in the back, because that's what James Braden does.
I think Carnage is only teaming up with him because Oshihara is probably the only threat in the match.
And like physically, like size-wise, I think James would be the biggest threat. But like you said, the true threat in this match is Hanzo, because he's very passive-aggressive, and we've seen it on Frontline and on Strike Zone. Hanzo will take huge amounts of damage and still tell you to just bring it on. And then he'll start. Then if he hits you with that choke maneuver, what happens at that? If he knocks out both people with that choke maneuver, then we have a new hardcore champion. Oh, and as you saw, that hot shot on the ropes there. And Hanzo wisely just kind of hanging on the outside here.
Yeah, and it's sort of interesting that that nobody really went after Hanzo at the beginning of the match, or is attempting to involve him. But I guess if two hotheads are sort of staring at each other in the face, that's what their focus is going to be.
Well, I think part of what it, and now I say this, and now James Braden's going after Hanzo, but what I was going to say was, I think part of it, like you were saying earlier, and like we were just talking about, the physical threat-wise, Carnage would be the next physical threat, because like you said, he's a hothead, he's very assertive when he wrestles. So for James, that would be the biggest contrast for those two, because they are very hot-headed, and so both of them being hot-headed at one another. Hanzo, they look at Hanzo, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, but they look at Hanzo like a fly on the wall.
For sure, and I know that you know as well as I do that Hanzo, like you said, is going to take all of that damage and all of that,
the abuse,
what everybody's going to throw at him, and he's just going to take it and then double it back and give it right back to you. He's not in there because he's not able to keep up with people, or he didn't just get handed this opportunity like what James did. He's in there because he can take people to that next level. That's why I picked him to win.
Exactly, and all three of us sitting here right now, we know that Hanzo can pull this out. All he's got to be able to do is do what brought him to the table. I mean, yeah, there's times where sometimes we think he's a little too passive, it takes a little too much damage, and we've seen him lose matches because of that. But when he takes that damage and when he gets himself in that zone, that's when his opponent should worry. Because when he turns it into that mist cloth thing that he puts on, there's no escaping out of that. There's no way to reverse that maneuver. And as you saw Carnage there with the 2 count, that was the first near fall of the matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, we're several minutes into it, and that being the first fall, maybe it's going to pick up the pace here a little bit. James taking a big fall there to the outside. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here.
Oh, wait, Carnage from behind. Ooh, and he hangs on with that backdrop. ran up to Hanzo as Hanzo was getting. It looked like Hanzo was getting ready to jump out of the ring, but Carnage grabbed onto him and then that German suplex onto that baseball bat there, and that'll definitely not feel good. And James Braden using a guitar. Jesus.
He interrupted that Carnage was calling that guy to his feet already.
Ooh, and Hanzo's back and his neck just, I don't know if you saw that bounce on the baseball bat there, but that was a hard bounce on that, that's a solid wood baseball bat. That's not plastic. That's wood.
Solid wood, not one like, what was it, Sammy Sosa? They caught him with that corked bat.
Yeah.
This is solid wood, guys.
It's the real deal.
And look at Carnage showing some strength there. He's got James Braden on his shoulders and brings him from the top rope to the middle of the ring. That is, and Carnage has enough time. And look at this. Carnage and Hanzo are kind of working together a little bit, working on James Braden. Now, see, that's wise. Take out, and I guess I spoke too soon. I was gonna say, take out James Braden, and then we can see Carnage and Hanzo just go at it.
Which was supposed to be the original match. I'm not actually sure why they didn't do that from the very beginning.
Exactly. The thing, I remember we were sitting in our production meeting, and they said it was Carnage versus Hanzo Oshihara, and then they called an audible on Strike Zone, and they added James Braden into the mix. So James Braden was kind of just thrown into this. I don't really know why. I mean, the match would have been fine if it would have just been the one-on-one, I think. But I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from James Braden. I mean, he's a gifted athlete at times.
Not sure I'd go that far.
He does have a few big wins under his belt throughout his career. But
if you can name two, I'll give you a cookie.
Well, remember when he won the tag team titles the first time? And kendo stick shot, and then a baseball bat. Well, that was Die Hard.
Okay. So you're really crediting that win to James?
Well, there was James is he does a lot of the TCO beatdown stuff. He does a lot of those beatdowns. He's got heavy involvement in that.
Yeah, but who's the main person that does the beatdowns?
And Carnage just got bealed by James Braden. I'm just saying, I mean,
who does more of the damage?
I'm just saying, he is a credible wrestler. He's been wrestling.
And no cookie for you. Anyway, moving ahead in the match.
That's right. Hanzo trying to find something as James Braden dropping the fist right on the forehead of Carnage there. And if you can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, none of us are real big fans of James Braden. We're just, one thing about being TPP commentators is we get to be honest about who we like and don't like. And it's all in our contracts. We can say those things, and we don't have to worry about being fired because we do know that James Braden is the boss's brother-in-law. We get that, but we don't worry about that. Into the cover here for Carnage. 1, 2, and almost a 3 count on James Braden. I was kind of hoping that chokeslam would have been it. Take out James Braden, get him out of this match.
I don't know, but Oshihara just threw that ladder at those guys.
I know, he hit both of them there. And this is smart right here. See, I'm telling you guys, if I could just pay to see Hanzo and Carnage in this match, I would. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from James. I'm sure that he had to beg Melinda and Die Hard to put him in this match all week.
I don't think he even had to beg, and I think going back to asking why is he even in this match, I can pretty much guarantee you I know why he's in this match, and it's the simple fact that Die Hard just wants to involve as much of TCO in everything that he possibly can, just hoping that they're going to steal those titles away from the other competitors. And honestly, if I were the fans in this arena right now, I'd be a little bit upset because if it were me, I would have been expecting, and I would have. I mean, they bought these tickets. How far in advance they wouldn't have known just based off of the prior weeks that Strike Zone he was going to be added into the match. I'd be a little bit upset here.
I definitely agree with you because I would be upset too. Because like you said, I mean, he was put in, and I agree with the whole Die Hard putting TCO members into these matches just because to do it. I mean, the only current person in TCO right now I feel that truly deserves the spot that they're in is Scythe. You can't take anything away from him for later tonight. I mean, he battled like a bull to that TPP title tournament.
And that's very true. And I'm a little part of me hopes that he sort of grows aware of where he is and who he's around, and maybe gets himself out of TCO eventually. But for now, he has earned where he has where he's at, and he's a great competitor.
Oh, look at this. Hanzo's got the choke. He's got the choke on Carnage.
Is he gonna make him tap?
Oh my. Carnage
Yep.
passed
I think
out.
he's done. He's done.
No. This is not the way this matchup should have happened. James Braden should have been the one that got choked out. Carnage hasn't moved yet, though. He's still down.
Still down. He needs to get out of the. There he goes. He's getting out of the ring now. But yeah, leaving James in this match, I would have thought that Hanzo might have tried a little bit harder to go after him first. But
Yeah. I mean,
I guess he's got his reasons.
yeah, that is true. And as you see, I mean, I'm kind of speechless now. I was really hoping for Carnage and Hanzo. We all figured, like we were talking when during the pre-show earlier when we were backstage, we were talking about how we wanted James Braden to get eliminated first, and now he stands a 50-50 chance of winning the Hardcore Championship right now.
I call shenanigans on this match already.
I do too. I think that James Braden should have. I really wish that Hanzo would have, gagged him instead of Carnage, because
I wish I would have reffed this match.
that's what I'm saying. I would have accidentally dropped something in my eye when when Carnage was getting pinned. This way, James could get pinned. And magically he fell into a 3 count when James Braden was getting pinned. And James Braden here, big boot using the ring post as a stopper on Hanzo's skull, and that may be it, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, and that was close.
Oh my gosh, that was close.
But
Braden
Hanzo
cannot win this match.
Hanzo's got the heart of a champion. That's why I'm saying. If anybody deserves it right now, it's Hanzo.
It is, and taking Braden down, and here I think he's got to look like he was almost going for that choke there again on the outside, but I think he needs to try to end this match sooner rather than later. This is a time-sensitive matter. James isn't as brutal as Hanzo is, I think, with the ability to use in terms of longevity. But
right.
I think he's just stupid enough that he might keep fighting, even though he doesn't. It's like he doesn't know he's hurt. He doesn't feel the pain.
Right. Well, the thing is with James, and we've talked about this with all the stronger guys that we have in TPP. James is up there with the stronger guys. He's got a bigger frame, and he can lift large amounts of weight. So when he's tossing people around, that's always going to be his kind of like backup plan when he's in a match. If he's gassed or something, he's just going to try to beal him, to get that distance between them, so he can catch his breath a little bit. And for James Braden, that's his saving grace. But for Hanzo, he needs to show his resiliency, and he needs to show it tonight. And James Braden headfirst into a steel chair. Welcome to a concussion, James Braden.
Oh man, I just hope Oshihara can pull this through. I don't understand why they just allow.
Hanzo just jumped onto the rope and then smashed James Braden's face right into that ladder. And again, James Braden goes face first in that ladder. Hanzo should have went for the cover right there. That's what he should have done. He should have covered right there.
He should have, and I really hope that doesn't go to bite him, later in the match if it lasts too much longer. But he needs to take advantage of when he can get the big man down.
Exactly, and James Braden there, the dirty eye rake, and in this environment, that dirty eye rake is completely legal. There's no rules, and I guess for James that kind of helps him a little bit, because he can low blow people, he can choke them.
But the thing is, he's always got away with that stuff in the ring.
Exactly, the thing is, he's always been able to get away with it without having to, pay the repercussions that most other competitors have to.
But we all know that Melinda's not going to say no to her brother.
That is very true. That's one thing that sometimes bothers me a little bit. Since since TPP technically is a family-owned business. I love that Melinda Guerrero is, the COO. She does great things for this company. It doesn't feel so great when Die Hard comes and tries to belittle the other wrestlers, but I don't know. It's just situations like this kind of make me question it sometimes. Like you said, though, it is the owner's brother and brother-in-law, so he's gonna get a little bit of special treatment. I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just if James does find a way to pull this out, it's just going to be that much more frustrating because it's because that he is family. It doesn't have anything to do with his ability to wrestle or his skill or his potential to earn his way there. It's just because he's related and happened to get thrown into the match.
Well, on the off chance if James Braden does pull this out, this is how it, and I'm not sure what Hanzo Oshihara was doing there, but big clothesline, sending James Braden to the outside. But on the off chance that James Braden does win, then the way I look at it is this: if he wins and he successfully defends his title numerous times, then maybe we can look at him as a legitimate champ.
I mean, if he defends it numerous times, I mean that doesn't mean anything if he's always got that extra backup and that extra protection of Die Hard or the rest of TCO. I mean, it nullifies everything.
That is true. I didn't.
They're not going to just let him lose like that.
Right.
Yeah. See, I didn't even think of that. And now we're seeing the strength game of James Braden. He picked up Hanzo there, put him up on his shoulder, and then spun him around in that gut buster. And James Braden looking for the FU here and dropping Hanzo. And now what is?
Come on, Hanzo.
Oh, he's calling him back to his feet. Hanzo, please, you got to do something. Put him in the claw if he tries to grab you or something. Do something. And James Braden again. He's got Hanzo up and right on the spine.
Oh my gosh.
He's just going to keep dealing damage to him. He just keeps doing it.
It's like the gamer match all over again.
Yeah, exactly. And now James Braden.
Oh no.
Oh, very close, but the legs were hooked, so into cover 2, 3, and
come on.
And now the history of the Hardcore Championship has just been tarnished.
I thought he was going to go through that table.
I thought it looked like he was about to.
It did, and at the last moment there, it looked like Hanzo hooked his legs in so that he didn't, to try to take some of the impact away, but unfortunately Hanzo was unable to kick out, and so it will forever go in the history books that tonight at TPP at Wreckoning, James Braden won the Hardcore Championship.
I think we need a Hall of Shame, guys.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yes, James Braden is a wrestler, and a lot of people may think that we just hate him. It's not that we hate him; we despise him.
Like I think we need a Hall of Shame, and Bryson and James need to be right up there in the top.
Only, I agree with that, with the stipulation that the first person inducted is Billings.
No, why would I would go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, up next we've got the Tag Team Championships, exclusive DLC. They're called the Cocoa Buffs, but I still know them as the Chocolate Drops. And exclusive DLC, they came in, and they've rallied the fans behind them so quickly, and partially it could be because of the gaming, But
and it could be, and this will be a great match. Both very, very competitive, very great tag team. So by no stretch of the imagination is this going to be a poor match. But I like I said, I did like the original name just a bit better. Although points for creativity.
Exactly, kind of like Cocoa Puffs, but Cocoa Buffs.
Pretty sure everybody got their reference, Bill.
I'm just in case.
Pretty sure you just got even more racist.
Oh, but the whole thing is on Frontline, exclusive DLC fought Darren Trinidad and Rollin Ryder, and the winners became the #1 contenders. And the Chocolate Drops on Strike Zone on Thursday, they got their win, and now we have the the Cocoa Buffs versus exclusive DLC tag team titles. And in all honesty, I think that both teams deserve it. They did what they had to do. They were the better men in their matches.
What is this attire they're wearing here?
It looks like it's GTA 5.
GTA 5?
GTA 5. They're gamers. They play it all.
I guess. I mean, that's kind of cool, though. I mean,
That is pretty original.
what? Just Wednesday they were wearing Left 4 Dead. Now GTA 5.
Yeah, they go from Left 4 Dead on Wednesday to GTA on Saturday. I love it. And the thing is, and speaking of such a close proximity in time, and I talked about this earlier this week when I had that sit-down interview with Die Hard on Monday, but this week has just been crazy for everybody in TPP. I mean, everybody's been working, pretty much 16-hour days, not counting us commentators. We've been working like 18, 19-hour days, but still, we've been doing a lot of stuff, getting everything ready. And for these wrestlers, they've had very little time to recuperate, since their matches on either front line or strike zone.
So who do you think's going to win tonight?
This is a tough one. I mean, for Damian Wallace and Tyrone Jennings for the Cocoa Buffs, this is a big opportunity. Like, especially for Damian Wallace. This is his second ever tag team title opportunity. The only other time was with his brother, and that was 2 years ago, and they didn't win. They lost to Landon Sane and Zach Keys. So, this is a big thing for Damian Wallace, and I don't know, the fans are really behind exclusive DLC. That's the thing. They're really behind exclusive DLC. I'm really behind exclusive DLC. It's hard to be biased or unbiased in this situation. I mean, I want to see the best team win, whatever team utilizes their tag team efforts the best, but honestly, I think it's going to be exclusive DLC.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I try not to as much as possible, but I do have to agree with you. I'm 1 for 2 tonight, so I'm gonna see if I can't go at least 66%. I'm gonna take exclusive DLC in this match, and nothing against the previous name, the Chocolate Drops. It is purely, and it has nothing to do with skill. It is purely because I like their old name better. Who are you taking, Miles?
I'm gonna take exclusive DLC because I am very, very biased.
Very biased.
I'm very biased, so I'm gonna go with exclusive DLC hands down. All right, that's what I'm gonna take.
Why is it that you're biased?
Why? Because I'm just biased. I know who I want to win in every match.
Alright, fair enough.
I have my opinions of people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against the Chocolate Drops. I'm gonna continue to call them that, by the way.
I am too.
So I'm not against the Chocolate Drops. I just really like exclusive DLC. I think they show more spirit, more heart behind the fight, and I like the video game attires. I think it's really, really creative and original.
It is. It's different. I've never seen anything like this in the ring before, and it's fun to watch these guys. They are a different breed from a lot of the people that we see in the ring these days. I think it's fun to watch these guys in the ring. They're different. I think that's going to take them a long way. I mean, you don't have to be the best or have the best in-ring capabilities, but when you can get the fans behind you and you get the people to cheer you and try to cheer you on, and I mean, it helps you. It's that extra support you get from the people in the arena that can propel you to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, God, Billings, it was better when you were quiet. You actually got some words in.
I do like it.
Anyways, as you were saying.
But yeah, I think that exclusive DLC is my pick for the night, so I'm gonna go with them.
Well, I mean, there's already been amazing tag team chemistry between exclusive DLC just in this matchup alone. They have that tool set that most tag teams don't have, or that it takes them a long time to get.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, it can take tag teams years to get that chemistry they need to be able to perform effectively with each other, and in the short time that they have been together. And I mean, I know that it's not a really short time. They did they did tag in the independent scene and stuff like that, but they do have that chemistry that I think will propel them.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And right now, I mean, for Damian Wallace, he needs to get Tyrone Jennings in this matchup. I mean, we're already up to a 2 count here on Damian Wallace, and Damian Wallace is not built for damage. He's built for speed, and that's about it. He's not built for damage though.
Yeah, and that's why they got the big boy of their team over there in the corner.
Exactly.
The bigger chocolate drop.
Yeah, the bigger chocolate drop. They should have had Tyrone Jennings start the match. I think that would have maybe had a different type vibe to this matchup because, like I said, I mean, Damian Wallace, he's got to do something. And I'm not saying that Damian Wallace isn't experienced, but as you saw, I mean, he was keeping Immortal Fighter over in the corner where he doesn't want him to be. He was keeping him in that corner. He needs to keep him in his neutral corner.
For sure, and I do think that there is something a little bit more to that than just being closer to your teammate. There's that the camaraderie, the little bit of extra. You can hear him right in your ear. You can get that little extra outside support. So if the Cocoa Buffs. If they can keep, the exclusive DLC to their corner, that's what's going to give them this match.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. They've got to isolate either Immortal Fighter or Frag Champ. They have to isolate one of them and keep them isolated. Otherwise, you get exclusive DLC hitting all these crazy tag team maneuvers, and they just, and exclusive DLC frequently tags in and out, and so, but that modified that was like a choke side slam type maneuver there into the cover here. 1, 2, and a 2 count as Immortal Fighter able to get his shoulders off the mat. But now we're seeing the Cocoa Buffs doing a little bit of tag team work here. Trying to work Immortal Fighter in the corner here, and Tyrone tagging Damian back in this matchup.
So what is the Cocoa Buffs slogan? Are they cuckoo for Cocoa Buffs or what?
I'm based on, I'm just going off of their profiles. So Damian Wallace has Know What I'm Saying on the back of his trunks, and their theme song says Know What I'm Saying at the beginning. So and Tyrone Jennings, from what I understand, is just a bodybuilder, from Venice Beach, California. So
does that mean he's so big that he just got to repeat the last thing you say?
that is quite possibly. I mean, from what I understand, Tyrone isn't much of a talker. Damian Wallace is. And into the cover here from Wallace. And that was a very creative maneuver, getting the 2 count, pulling the hair, and then seating himself in between them. But a quick Hurricane Rana there from Immortal Fighter. And as I was just going to say, Immortal Fighter needs to get Frag Champ in this match. He got him into the match. But from what I understand, though, Wallace is the talker of the group, not Jennings. Jennings just kind of stands there and nods. So you may actually be right.
I think he needs our dictionary.
He and Billings are in need of some vocabulary help today.
I have amazing vocabulary. I stumbled on one word because, like I said, I'm excited for it tonight.
And it was the only big word. You keep your words to 5 or 6 letters, you'll be fine.
And as you saw there, Damian Wallace was able to sidestep that jumping knee from Frag Champ. And now Damian Wallace is starting to kind of show an aggressive side. I mean, it's not really a fully aggressive side. It's just kind of a partial aggressive. It's like it's a mixture of passive aggressive. I mean, he's being assertive, but not very assertive right now. And he's got to maintain control. He's giving up too much control too easily to Frag Champ right now.
You know what? The Frag Champ and Immortal Fighter have been putting up a great match tonight, and I hope it actually works in their favor. Their tag team skills are off the charts.
They are, no doubt about that. And as you saw, that very creative backbreaker followed up by a leg drop from the top rope from Immortal Fighter. Going for the cover is Frag Champ here. 1, 2, and a 2 count. As Wallace, barely got his shoulders off the mat there.
I think Wallace would be a little bit better off again, just sort of getting out of the match. He had a long stint there at the very beginning of the match, and I think in the long run that's going to hurt him more because he did take a lot of damage. He took a lot of work from DLC. So I think he'd be better off leaving it to the big guy just to try to sort of beat him down a little bit. Then once it gets closer to the end of the match, maybe tag him back in so we can finish it off. But I think for now he'd be better off staying out of the match.
I definitely concur completely because and look at that. Damian Wallace took too much time and he just crashed and burned there.
But I don't understand why you even climbed up in the opposition's corner in the first place.
Yeah, nothing about that was a good idea.
Exactly, and I think like I said, I don't think it's not that he's not experienced enough. I mean, Damian Wallace has been wrestling for many years. I think we had touched on before, is kind of like an arrogance type. Look at what I'm doing to your partner right now, but he just crashed and burned when he tried to do that. Big jumping elbow there from a Mortal Fighter, now tagging Champ back into this matchup.
Yeah, and this is their game, tagging in and out of the match, quick tags, and using that teamwork to their advantage when they can. If they can keep that up, it'll definitely give them the victory. They just need to make sure they stay on top of it.
Exactly, and for like you said, I mean, Wallace needs to get out of this matchup, and like you said, get Tyrone Jennings in there, and maybe towards the end get him tagged back in just for the speed, because the speed will be beneficial, but they need power in there right now, and
for sure,
they just don't have it right now.
Especially with the abuse that he took at the beginning of the match.
Exactly, and now Immortal Fighter, big kick right to the side of the skull there of Damian Wallace into the cover, hooks the far leg. Referee taking his time there, 1, 2, and Tyrone Jennings got in to break up the pin. That may have been it.
Yeah, I think we need a new ref out here. He was a little bit slow on that.
That he was, and Wallace trying to get something going, and Wallace, big springboard leg drop.
That was different.
It was very, very unique of him to do that. Only a 1 count though, as Immortal Fighter was able to get himself out, but Damian Wallace starting to keep on the offensive, and that's what they need to do. But just like that, I mean, turn right back around, right back into the Faber exclusive DLC. And see, this is like the arrogance where they know that they're doing good because they're just out of arm's reach of Tyrone Jennings.
For sure, and I mean, you just sort of rub it in their face almost, and unless he loses control, which it looks like he just did, and looks like we're gonna see the beast come into the match now.
Yeah, and as you saw, the big man there resting on the ropes, placing his feet out, and kind of like he was sitting in a lazy boy recliner. And now Tyrone Jennings, a 290-pound elbow drop there.
I can pretty much assure you nothing about that feels good.
And as you saw, the referee took an exceptional long time there on that count. And Tyrone Jennings, look at this. He just like a sack of potatoes and then tossed him.
He just deadlifted that man off the mat, and I mean, that's just brute strength right there.
Into the cover here, 1, 2, almost a 3
Oh,
count.
I thought it was over. I thought the big chocolate buff was gonna win.
Well, like when you look at Tyrone Jennings, he's no doubt about it the biggest man in here. But look at this. I mean, Immortal Fighter not afraid to be in the adversary's corner, and he's putting up that fight right now. And he's got and knocked Wallace down. But wait a second, Wallace is on the apron here. Tyrone Jennings down on the outside, and a big Frag Champ goes to the outside, and then Immortal Fighter goes to the outside. That's one way to take the big man down. But unfortunately, these two cannot win. They can't win the tag team titles off a count out.
That's right. They need to get him back in the ring. They think they can take advantage of what the damage just did.
And as you saw, I mean, Damian Wallace was able to kind of help his team a little bit there.
Yeah, you thought he would have reacted a lot sooner though when they were taking turns jumping on him like a trampoline.
Exactly, and it makes you wonder if exclusive DLC had their training in a backyard wrestling company or something.
They were at Sky Zone.
Oh, where's like? Oh, Jesus!
Ooh, that was unexpected.
powerbomb out of nowhere. That may be at 1,
I think
2.
I felt that all the way out here.
The ring shook on that powerbomb, no doubt about that. And Tyrone,
The fact that he could just stand back up after that, I mean, he's down right now, but the fact that he could, just, that had to have been pure adrenaline that got him right back up after taking that power bomb.
oh yeah, I mean that was a very nasty looking powerbomb. And now we got the chocolate drop starting to work as a team here. This is gonna a double standing side kick there. That was unique.
I think they're starting to learn throughout the match. They're starting to, know more what they need to start doing to get rid of these gamers.
Exactly, and it begs the question: what is it going to take for if Wallace is going to be the legal man, he's got to use his speed. He has to use speed because me and Wes have talked about this numerous times. But a lot of these adrenaline guys, they don't have a lot of impact behind their strikes. They have it'll sting, but they got to use their speed. It's just the consistency of being able to do these fast strikes is what gives them their matches. It's what gives them their wins.
For sure, and to your point, that they don't have the brute strength that you're seeing in this match here. They need to be able to strike, and they need to be able to take see if they can steal the match, steal the win. If they can go for a cover, even a submission, just something quick after they do get somebody off their feet. They aren't really taking advantage of it, and when they do, the ref isn't really paying attention. So I guess it wouldn't do a whole lot of good anyway.
Exactly, and as you saw, a big right hand. Oh, and another one. Jesus, a series of punches to the head, and a double axe handle, but he missed as he overshot Wallace there. And Damian Wallace is only 5'8", 5'9". He's not very tall, so.
I don't think the gamers are either. So.
Yeah, they're maybe 6 foot, but wait a second, a much needed tag here, getting tagged in. Wallace eats a. Oh no, Wallace didn't eat the big right hand. He was able to counter that. That was very savvy for Wallace to have enough ring awareness to be able to avoid that.
I think Wallace is tired of getting his head beat in.
Oh, I believe so. I mean, we're gonna know what he's saying from the emergency room tomorrow.
That's right.
And let's see what Wallace got caught there with another head move, and that's one thing that exclusive DLC does. They do a lot of head-focused moves. And wait a second. Oh, that stunner. And Tyrone just took a bad spill. Oh, to the outside there. What is going on? I'm not sure what he's thinking here. He's going to the top rope, but
don't be cocky already.
Wallace got back to his feet, and then that that hangover castle. And as you see, Tyrone Jennings is getting pounded he was getting pounded on the outside there, and another stunner type maneuver. And now going for the cover, hooks the far leg. This could be at 1, 2, 3, and the distraction kept Tyrone from breaking it up. We have new tag team champions, exclusive DLC.
Well, congratulations to DLC, and I called another one right. I think pretty much all of us picked DLC, but a fantastic showing by them here tonight, knocking off the Cocoa Buffs, and they look really impressive. Like we said at the beginning of the match, they've got that. They work as a cohesive unit. They're a great tag team.
Exactly, and tonight I don't think we can really take too much away from the Cocoa Buffs. They went out there and they put out their best effort, but like we said, that tag team chemistry, that is what makes the difference. Being able to weather the storm and frequently tag in and out, and that's what the exclusive DLC was able to do tonight.
I think that the Cocoa Buffs were starting to learn that, though. So I think they'll do better their next time around in a tag team match. I think they'll start learning how to, use their tags more wisely.
Hey, hopefully so. It was a good match regardless. But up next, the Adrenaline Championship. Now, like I said earlier, the last time we saw these two was on Strike Zone, and Victor Yosef did that devastating pile driver on the outside, and Sage was out. He got counted out, he got carted off, and he suffered a minor concussion. For 2 weeks, and he was still competing with having that concussion, which, in my opinion, I don't think he should have been competing while he had the concussion, but He likes to wrestle. So
Yeah. I think on the match card, I think this is the sleeper. I think this is my most anticipated match, with of course the exception of the co-main event. I think this. How many times have I told you, Billings, that I love Sage? He is probably my favorite competitor right now. He's so exciting. He's just a blast to watch.
he is. He's a blast to watch, and I can't wait to see him, finally come into his own in TPP. I mean, like me and you have seen a lot of his independent stuff, and he was doing really, really well in the independents. He didn't necessarily need this contract with TPP, but he took it, for whatever reason, whether it was more money or if this is where he wanted to be. And so we just got to wait to see him get into his niche, and then we'll really see Sage fully blow up and do what we've seen him do on the independents. I mean, we've seen him do some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen any wrestler do.
For sure, what we know that he can do, what I know and he's capable of. It's gonna be so exciting when he gets to that point in his career that he's doing that, on a weekly basis here for us.
Exactly, and for Victor Yosef, I mean, this was another one of those kind of judgment calls by Die Hard. I mean, Die Hard went on Twitter and named Victor Yosef the #1 contender for the Adrenaline Championship just because Victor said that he was undefeated. And so, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of one of those questionable decisions that I think that Die Hard made, but he is the boss, so.
Right, but nevertheless, this is going to be a great match, and he does have a point. He is undefeated, and this is going to be a great match.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And this is Sage's second chance here, Victor Yosef. He gets to change the way that history played out for him the first time, and right from a quick elbow. Did you see that? That landed right on the chin.
Mm-hmm.
And Sage is not wasting any time here. He's going right to it. Ooh, raised knee. And this is the Sage that we knew from Independence, right from the get-go.
For sure. I mean, he's got to take advantage of it early. He's got to go for blood. For lack of a better term, this is his opportunity. He's got to take advantage here. He's got to make sure that if he doesn't win tonight, he's remembered. This is a big opportunity for him.
Exactly, and a very arrogant cover by Sage there, and Sage knew he wasn't going to get the 3 count, but he was showing Victor that he can put him down if it needs to happen. And for Victor with the quick suplex, like I was going to say, he's got to do something to get momentum in his favor, because if Sage starts rolling, then we're going to be looking at the next Adrenaline champion.
For sure, and I mean, not to take anything away from Yosef, they're both great competitors. I watched Sage's first match ever in the Independents. I'm just a big fan of his.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, and we don't have a lot of history on Victor Yosef. We do know that he possibly suffers from bipolar disorder,
right?
Which was apparent a couple of weeks ago on our show when he had a dispute with a fan in attendance, and he almost came to blows with the fan that was in attendance. So we have a couple of hotheads here in TPP.
For sure, yeah, a couple.
And another 1 count for Victor Yosef on Sage as that was a hard kick right to the back of the head, followed up by a big right hand. And
I didn't even think Sage was going to make it to the match tonight after Wednesday night.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, even though he took one heck of a beating from Brick Wall, he's still here tonight. He was in high spirits. I talked to Sage earlier. I know Wes talked to him earlier. I saw Wes and him were playing cards, so I don't know what's up with that. You guys play cards together? I don't know, Goldfish maybe, but but yeah, he seemed very excited about tonight. So,
well, Goldfish is the only thing that you can only comprehend, Billings. It's okay.
Right. And there is something to be said about the beatings that Sage has taken, and to still have that drive and the wherewithal to make it here tonight and compete. But that could be something that is a downfall for him, is having that injury that almost caused him a concussion a couple weeks back. That could be his downfall here.
Well, exactly. And what kind of bothers me, and maybe this is a personal attack on you, Die Hard, if you're listening, which I'm sure you're backstage listening, but if you scheduled all the #1 contenders to compete, then why was it that you didn't schedule Victor Yosef to compete on either Frontline or Strike Zone? I mean, he had Sage compete against Brick Wall, for crying out loud. Somebody that's 79 pounds bigger than him. You know, he made Sage go out there and compete against brick wall. He had Scythe compete against his own son, and as you saw there, Sage went for something, but Victor Yosef bailed out of the ring to avoid the impact. And as you
what is up with him attacking the ref right now?
He just took out a referee.
yeah, the referee got hit there. I'm not sure what.
Like, I'm pretty sure he was looking at him before when he did it the first time, and then he missed, and then, like, he's like, alright, well, if I miss, I'm just gonna do it again, so...
I think that was a little bit of frustration on the part of Sage, as Victor Yosef now back in control here.
I'm not sure why that wasn't disqualified. That should have been a DQ, shouldn't it? I mean,
Possibly. I'm
Obviously, I'm not
not
I guess that ref's a little, forgiving.
a little. He just sat on his face. I don't.
He definitely caked the referee there, and it allowed Victor Yosef to get back into the driver's seat. And unfortunately for Sage, he's got to come up with something. And wait a second, Sage with big kick right to the head, and that'll definitely change the pace. And 1, 2, and a 2 count for Sage. As although he did plant the referee like that, the referee was still nice enough to give him a nice good count.
You're right, a decent count speed at that time at least.
Yeah, at least that time. And for Sage, he's got to get something going. I think he's starting to get frustrated. I think that's the problem.
And I mean, you can't blame him. Victor Yosef is a great competitor, and he does make sure. I don't want him to hear him say this, but I'm not sure that he's the brightest, but he's very strong, and he's a little bit crazy, and I think that that's gonna help propel him here tonight too.
Oh yeah,
He's down with the clown.
well, the thing with Victor Yosef is, he like Wes was saying, he's, for him to be adrenaline, like he's got such a small amount of body fat, he holds such a low weight, and he's got muscle. So he's probably one of our strongest adrenaline wrestlers, compared to somebody like Anthony Guerrero Jr., who's not quite adrenaline, but not quite heavyweight, or like Sage. Like Sage is a very small adrenaline wrestler. But Victor Yosef, he's a muscular adrenaline wrestler, so he's able to move around very quickly, but he's also got a lot of impact behind what he does.
For sure, and that might really make the difference in trying to keep Sage down here. If he's got that extra power, that might do it for him.
And see what Victor just did there. Victor went out of his comfort zone, tried to jump and springboard off the ropes like that, and he missed very badly and allowed Sage to momentarily gain some offense. But just like that, Victor Yosef was able to turn it back into his favor, into the cover with a 2 count. And now what is Victor Yosef here? Double underhook here, wrenching on the arms and the shoulders, and that does not feel good.
Yeah, nothing about that feels good, especially with that strong upper body that you can tell he has, and a big drop kick right there to the side of the head of Sage. And I've got a bad feeling I know where this is going in terms of how this match is going to end.
That knee right to the side of the skull there, right on the ear, and into the cover 2. And a 2 count for Victor Yosef, and for Victor, he's got to be getting frustrated because Sage isn't going down. He's trying to hang in here.
Yeah, but Sage is getting worked right now, left and right. He's hitting them turnbuckles. I bet you his chest is pretty much pounding.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's probably having some trouble breathing. It doesn't help when Victor Yosef is doing this stalling suplex here, letting all the blood flow to the head, and then right onto the spine. That's not going to do Sage any favors. And now Victor, a springboard leg drop there, a modified springboard leg drop. And another 2 count for Victor Yosef. And like I said, he's got to be going, what do I got to do to beat Sage? Because Sage is not staying down.
Well, he's a great competitor, and like I said, we've seen him for so long. We know he's capable of. Yosef has only seen a few matches worth of what Sage can do. So I wouldn't at all be surprised to see Sage pull out the win here. It's just a matter of if he can get into his element and be able to take advantage of the little that Yosef knows about him.
Exactly. And big clothesline right to the back of the head. And now Sage going for the cover. 1, 2, and a 2 count. As this matchup, that was a very close 2 count. And look at that. Sage grabbed the ropes, pulled himself back, and made Victor Yosef miss with that drop kick. But Victor Yosef responds with the clothesline.
And Sage's head is got to be killing him with the, almost suffering that concussion and all the abuse it's taken here tonight. His head has got to be pounding right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, when they said he had a minor concussion, but he was still cleared to compete, I think he should have, probably taken a couple of days off. But he didn't. He kept coming and coming back.
My gosh, look at the wrenching that knee apart. What? Oh.
Exactly, and that's just strength, lifting your opponent with, by their leg. He was lifting Sage off the ground with his leg, and Sage now, a basic suplex, nothing fancy about it, but it'll do enough damage, and it'll have enough of an impact on it. And wait a second, Sage with the X Factor there.
Ooh. Go for the cover.
Sage is going for the cover, hooks the far leg. 1, 2, and oh my goodness. Sage going off the ropes. And a big hip toss. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought for sure that Sage was going to be able to catch it, but Victor showing his strength and, doing that hip toss. What is, I mean, the only thing that Victor's really got left in his arsenal is that pile driver.
Yeah, no, with what it did or almost did to Sage last time, I really don't want to see that again. That was brutal.
It was, and listen, what is Victor Yosef doing? Victor Yosef, a springboard moonsault from the second row, very nice. 1, 2, almost a 3 count.
I thought that was it.
I know, and somehow those Sages, he's hanging in here, and I love seeing this. And this is definitely that sleeper match of the night. 1, 2. And another 2 count, and you can see like the frustration building on Victor Yosef's face. He's getting very upset because Sage is not staying down. Sage wants this.
Well, and
Sage doesn't want to give up.
Yeah, he does have that loss to Yosef already. He doesn't want to take another one, especially on the stage that he's on right now. He wants to he wants not only to make an impact here tonight, but to get redemption from his loss.
Big
my gosh.
suicide dive. I mean, he just lunged right through the rope there.
That's a big man flying through the second rope coming up. That was pretty impressive.
That was and he did it with a lot of speed too. I mean, he didn't have the brakes on at all, and Sage just went knee first right into the corner of the steps there.
He just knocked those steps apart just now, so...
Exactly, but Sage got back to his feet, and
how's he running after that? Like,
that's
just
pure
come running out.
Pure adrenaline right there. Sage jumps to the outside, a kind of body plancha. That was almost a 10-foot fall there.
I think Billings is making his own words again.
That's a real word, body plancha. Go look it up.
Did you use it correctly?
Probably
like
not.
You said hip plancha
Probably
earlier too.
But look at that! The dirty eye rig there to Sage, and that's what Victor Yosef has. He's got those dirty maneuvers.
Yeah, the eye launcher.
and as you see, Victor Yosef grabbing the head and squeezing. And now Victor Yosef he's got a sharpshooter locked in. And as
Sage needs to get to the ropes here. Oh, and he breaks the hold. Why would he let go?
I don't know. I mean,
he
had him. It was close. You got to imagine it was very close to being the end of the match there.
Maybe he was losing his...
like as much pain as he possibly can on him tonight. It seems like
might have just been losing his grip on that sharpshooter. I don't know why else he would have let go of him there.
That is very true. And Sage though, just like a spitball, just firing back, constantly going for the cover here with that after that Hurricanrana 2. So close. And Sage again, another X Factor there.
Oh, this should be it. He's out.
Wait a second, Sage. He might be looking to. He's looking
to finish it.
Wait a second, Sage has him, plants him.
Boom.
Yes. Go for the cover.
Take it, Sage.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm sure he could taste that one. He could taste it.
No doubt about it. Sage, that if he had just pinned him just maybe even a split, not even a split second, like a millisecond earlier, I mean, that would have been it. And now Sage has got to go back to the drawing board. He's got to figure out a way to take out Victor. He's got to figure out how he's going to do this.
Sage is doing everything that he's got at him. I don't know what else he's got left.
Well, if he throws anything else at him, it's going to be illegal in TPP. I mean, we've seen some of the independent stuff, but I don't even think we can allow that.
No, I mean, there's a lot that Sage would do in the independents that, like you said, you can't do here in TPP, and it's just due to safety issues and whatnot. But
Sage with the Hurricane Rana here, 1, 2, and oh my God!
Oh,
No! The inverted backbreaker, and you know what's coming.
No.
He's got him up
again.
boom! He's done. This has to be it.
1, 2, 3, and Victor Yosef, our new adrenaline champ. I mean, Sage had that match won. It was right there.
I knew that was coming.
And that's
I hate it tonight. I mean, everything's going his way. He's two of his hand-picked people getting put in matches, or for whatever reason, he put James in that hardcore match, and not making Yosef compete before here tonight, and then giving him this shot. I mean, he's got to be having a great night right now. These are two of his picks that will walk away with titles.
exactly. And Yosef, he's had the past 9 days off. He hasn't had to do anything match-wise.
It's been pretty good for him.
Yeah, for Victor Yosef, he's going to be celebrating tonight, but
Sage comes out of a match with Brick Wall from like a couple days ago, and this is what happens.
well, up next, ladies and
Speaking
gentlemen.
of Brick Wall,
Yeah, speaking of Brick Wall versus Bryson. This is. I'm not a fan. None of us are really fans of Bryson, but I feel some sympathy for Bryson tonight. He's been trying to get the leg up on Brick Wall ever since Brick Wall returned, when Brick Wall punched him in the face. He's been trying to get the leg up on him. It just isn't working for Bryson. I don't know. I don't think he can conquer Brick Wall tonight. I really don't.
how many times have I told you what a fan I am of Brick Wall? He's a great competitor. He's strong. He's fast. He's agile. He is my pick tonight, without a doubt. I mean, if I had, if I was going to second guess any of my picks, this would not be one of them. Brick Wall is my favorite in this match.
Well, I'm definitely leaning towards Brick Wall, but a part of me, even though I don't like Bryson, a part of me kind of wants to see Bryson get, that closure that he can maybe, because this is very reminiscent to what happened to Bryson with Damian Gamer last year. He couldn't beat Damian Gamer, and then he got that title opportunity, and he was able to beat Damian Gamer. But in this situation, though, Bryson is currently the internet champion, so he's defending his title against Brick Wall. He's got everything to lose here, nothing to gain.
That's right, and I think that's going to play a big part of it. There's not as, I think there's going to be more pressure on him going into this, that it's going, it might psych him out a little bit or whatever. But like I said, without a shadow of a doubt, Brick Wall is my pick tonight.
And like I said, I'm going to have to agree with you, because Brick Wall has TCO backing him. Bryson doesn't have anybody backing him anymore. He's out of TCO, so he's got and nobody in the back likes him. He doesn't have any friends in the locker room, so Bryson's kind of on his own.
The thing is Brick Wall doesn't need the help. He's never needed the help in his matches.
That is true. That is very true. So we're all in agreement that we're kind of assuming Brick Wall's going to win this, but like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of a sliver of faith in Bryson that he can maybe somehow have like a miracle on 34th Street.
Well, this is just sort of a mismatch. Look at the sheer size of Brick Wall. He's always been the powerhouse. He is probably, is he the biggest guy in TPP right now?
Well, no, because Cerberus is 400 pounds,
That's right.
434 pounds, and Atlas would be a close contender to that. But Brick Wall is probably within the top 3, followed by James Braden. And Bryson's not a small guy. He's 260 pounds, but he's tall and lanky. He's not built like Brick Wall. And
For
Brick
sure,
Wall's
but-
probably the strongest.
I was about to say that pound for pound, Brick Wall is probably the strongest man in the business right now.
Well, as you see, I mean, Bryson's in great shape, but it's just things have been very tough for Bryson, very, very tough, and so he's got to figure something out here. So the Internet Championship, Bryson versus Brick Wall, no disqualification. Bryson's gonna retain, or Brick Wall's gonna be the new Internet Champion, and he's gonna have another title to put on his resume that he's held in TPP.
And it's just gonna make him that much more decorated. He doesn't have anything to prove here tonight. Brick Wall doesn't need this title, but with his history with Bryson, he didn't. Like I said, he doesn't need it. He's just gonna take it because he wants it.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. He's just gonna take it because he wants it, because he knows he can have it, so he's gonna take it.
That's right.
It just sweetens the match a little bit for him.
Well, look at Bryson trying to tell Brick Wall to lay down, and Brick Wall run's not gonna have that tonight. Just completely side-fisted Bryson in the side of the skull.
Side-fisted.
I didn't really. It was a quick on words.
You just said side-fisted.
Yes, on a PG show. I know.
Can we get a new? Somebody just take Dylan's way. We don't need anymore. Mills and I have this. We don't just get out of here.
I'm rated in for sure.
As you see, Brick Wall's already starting to pick apart Bryson. But Bryson turning it around with the snapmare, though. I think wrestling-wise, Bryson would have the advantage. Wrestling skill-wise. But striking-wise, there's no question. Brick Wall, through and through. Brick Wall, Golden Glove boxer. You get punched in the face by Brick Wall, it's like literally getting hit in the face with a brick. So
yeah, you just don't want it to happen. Nothing about that'll feel good. That's if you can avoid it on purpose.
Exactly. And look at Bryson quickly going to the outside, because when Brick Wall does a wrestling move, he puts everything he has into it, and that's something. That's why Brick Wall's theme song is "Remember the Name." Because you're gonna remember him. Either you're gonna wake up in the morning and not be able to feel your legs or your arms or whatever, or you're gonna know that he something, or you're always gonna remember him. You ain't gonna be able to forget him, because he gives 110% on everything he does.
For sure.
But Bryson's trying. I'll give Bryson that. He's trying. He's trying to take out Brick Wall. He's even struggling to do a side hip toss to somebody that's only 20 pounds bigger than him.
Well, he's just there's so much muscle mass in Brick. Muscle is heavier than fat, and not saying that he's that Bryson's fat by any means, but there's just so much muscle mass on Brick Wall. He's just a huge human being.
He is, and me and Landon were actually talking about this, but Brick Wall is like one of those nice big giants. He's a nice guy. He does the whole Make-A-Wish thing for the kids, and he likes people. He's associated with the bad people, He's associated with TCO, but he's a good guy.
The fans love him, the kids love him. He's a great guy, and and like I said, he doesn't have anything to prove here tonight. It's just what history he's got with Bryson. He doesn't have to be in this match. He doesn't even have to be here tonight. He could probably, if he wanted to, get himself with his connections to Die Hard into the main event if he wanted it. But right now he's got this issue with Bryson. He's going to settle it. He wants the title. He's going to take it.
And something I've really wondered was, especially after Brick Wall returned, when you think about it, Bryson, he came into TCO as Brick Wall left TCO last year to, go pursue other things. And, I'm not saying that this stemmed from last year, but, maybe that was part of it. Maybe Brick Wall felt that he was being disrespected by Bryson, because Bryson was touting himself as the future.
For sure. And, if you... you leave even a company or a business. If you leave a job and you look at, who replaces you, and you think, wow, I was doing such a better job than them. He could have taken it very personal easily.
Exactly. And like you said, like when you compared Brick Wall to Bryson and who was doing better, hands down, Brick Wall was doing a way better job. He was having a much more successful career than what Bryson did. Bryson is one of those late bloomers. He was very late to get his impact, I guess, or his moments. It took him 2 months before he could finally beat Damian Gamer. And that can't be the case for Bryson tonight, because if that is the case, Bryson's going to lose his championship.
But we gotta admit though that Brick Walls had his tough time. It was before the time that he left. He was losing quite a bit of matches.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody goes through a dry spell every now and then, and and Brick Wall does what's best for business at the same time. So it is what it is, and plus there was a whole new influx of wrestlers coming in, a whole different kind of breed, and me and Wes have talked. I think I've talked with both of you about this, but like Brick Wall and Jordan Moore and stuff. A lot of those older retro guys, the school of Hard Knocks. This is compared to like the new school stuff. So the school of Hard Knocks is used to that hardcore stuff, and Brick Wall just went hardcore right on the face of Bryson there with that guitar.
He just broke that guitar on the guy's face. Who does that?
I guess that the fan offered it to him. He took advantage of it.
Well, I wonder.
Shows up to a wrestling show with a guitar.
Exactly, and I hope that they don't send us a bill for that broken guitar, because
right.
that gets docked out of our pay, and we're the commentators. So just saying.
Yeah. Somebody needs to tell the fans to keep their toys to themselves.
Yes. Please keep your replica TPP championships on your side of the protective rail, please.
Right.
Because those things are very heavy. But look at Brick Wall. I mean, and this is what makes Brick Wall so unique. The fans love him, and they hate him at the same time. Like, they hate it when he does the bad guy type maneuvers, but they also love it. Like he was just close fist punching Bryson right in the side of the skull, and there was a large portion of the fans cheering while booing at the same time.
But I think there's more going to be cheering because it's Bryson and Brick Wall.
Exactly, and the thing is, I don't know what Bryson was thinking there. He kind of jumped out of the ring. I wasn't really sure what he was doing there. But as you see, Brick Wall, look, that's 260 pounds. He just picked up, walked about 3 or 4 feet, and then, tossed him on his back. I don't know.
Oh, he got himself a table.
He's got a table here, and Bryson tried, and that's the thing. Like, Bryson is such a slow striker. Like, that's the thing. He's a very slow striker. Brick Wall is a very fast striker, and he hits very hard. I mean, I'm sure that these punches hurt from Bryson, but if Brick Wall was doing that, it'd probably hurt 10 times worse.
For sure. I mean, the speed coupled with the amount of damage that Brick Wall outputs, there's nothing about that you want to be on the receiving end of.
Oh, most definitely. And for Bryson, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to have faith in Bryson. I really am. I mean, the kid's got potential. I think we can all agree on that.
For sure.
He's got potential. He's got an amazing, physique for for being only 26 years of age. He's got the height. He's got a very good body build. I just think he needs to couple that with more experience or more focus. And me and you talk about this a lot backstage, Wes, but when we compare some of the wrestlers, but we see a lot of wrestlers that come in, they could do really good, but they don't have the focus that they need to be successful. And Brick Wall has that focus. I mean, he's always been a very determined and focused individual as long as I've known him.
Well, I mean, look where he came from. Look, who trained him, what he grew up, if you will, learning from. This is what he does. This is his life. And it's not the chosen lifestyle for a lot of people, but this is what Brick Wall has always wanted to do. And at this point, and that's part of what led him to leaving when he did a little while back. It's
through the table. What?
That could be it.
And Bryson kicks out.
Wow.
Oh, but as you were saying,
I mean, this is what he's always wanted to do, and you can tell just by the way he carries himself and the way he handles himself in the ring. But this is his life dream. He's living it right now.
Exactly, and the thing is, in the back of our minds, I think we all knew that Brick Wall would come back eventually. I mean, sometimes you got to step away and let your batteries recharge a little bit, because when you wrestle anywhere, it's not just in TPP, it's anywhere. You're working numerous days a year. You'd have very little time for your family,
Sure.
And it's just it takes its toll on you. And for people like Bryson, they don't have that type of family. But Brick Wall does. And I mean, for Die Hard, his family travels with him. So it's a little different for Die Hard, but like for Jordan Moore and people like that, I mean, people do have to step away and get their batteries recharged sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I I wouldn't disagree with you there. It's not the easiest lifestyle. I mean, I've mentioned before that, I did wrestle for a time. It just ended up not being my thing. A couple injuries later, but you've never wrestled. But I mean, even on us, this isn't. This is not the. I mean, we're always traveling. We're always moving city to city. It's not an easy lifestyle.
Yeah, it's very time consuming. Especially. I mean, I'm not saying that we have the hardest jobs in the world. I mean, we get to sit here. Yeah, I mean, we get to sit here for 2 hours and just talk and have fun and be kids. But when it's work days, when it's Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then Sunday, we're at the office, and we're trying to find new talent that we can bring in, and things like that. Or we're trying to figure out contract issues that people are having, and for Bryson, he recently had a contract issue. Right when they had announced, or right when they told me I was going to have a new broadcast partner, which ended up being you. I didn't even know, and Bryson had that contract issue, and I went to go take care of it, but it was already taken care of because you took care of it. Right. So, it's just things like that. And so we work, if people want to joke about the diehard training thing, saying that was 23 out of 24 hours a day, I think we work 26 out of 24 hours a day some days.
I mean, that's some fancy math you're doing there, but I do agree. We do have a very it can be a rough schedule, but we wouldn't be here if we didn't love what we're doing.
That is very true. And look, did you just see that Brick Wall just picked Bryson up, turned 180, and then dropped him down? This is what I love seeing. This is why I love Brick Wall.
Because he's an insanely strong individual.
I wonder, like me and Landon were talking about this. What if we saw Brick Wall versus Cerberus? I mean, like in a test of strength, who do you think would win? I mean, Cerberus is 400 pounds, but we all know, we've seen Brick Wall squat 670 some odd pounds, like a full 10 repetitions. So we know he's strong.
It's just inhuman strength. I don't think anybody would win. That's not. I don't think the world is going to let that happen. Physics would win because it wouldn't let it. It just wouldn't happen.
The ring would collapse.
It would collapse, right? Everything on here would just sort of fall apart. I don't think that can't happen.
And that's the thing. Like Brick Wall was wise enough to catch himself on the ropes, but Bryson using that very lowbrow type spine buster. I call it a lowbrow spine buster because, I mean, he barely lifts him off the ground when he does it. And I'm not sure if maybe it's because Bryson doesn't have the strength to do it anymore, or if that's just Bryson's attempt at maybe having more of an impact.
Well, I mean, you don't need to lift him really high off the ground, if you're driving all that weight back down into him. Doesn't matter how high they are off the ground, you're just planning on putting all your strength and muscle into it, save the energy for the impact rather than the lift.
And as you saw, Bryson, big back chop right up in the corner there, and going for the cover here, 1, 2, and a 2 count. As Brick Wall still, this late in the match, he's still kicking out with authority. Very aggressive kickouts.
Oh.
That was a very quick releasing German suplex there. And Bryson now, we saw this on Frontline, but this modified side camel clutch here. He's got the arm tangled in between his leg. He might, but again, Brick Wall, the one arm strength, just beeling Bryson right off of him.
Beeling? Did you say beeling?
Yeah, beeling.
Beeling.
Toss.
Much?
I said beeling, not billing. Beeling.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
They call you Bellings.
Ballings.
Anyways, so we've got Brick Wall here. Completely he just gave a big right hook to the face of Bryson. Bryson just went right onto his behind there. Bryson's not looking so hot right now.
I think Brick Wall's getting tired of this stuff. Oh, look. You remember when Extreme got put out like this?
I do, and that will definitely that could take Bryson out too. If Bryson isn't careful, if Bryson doesn't land that the right way when they're doing that. Wait a second, we haven't seen this in a long time.
No, but I'm glad to see it again. I've been waiting to see this.
This is the B Wallen elbow drop. I have waited like 2 years to actually say that. It's been a long time since we've seen that.
It has.
Wait a second, Brick Wall off the ropes. Oh, the driller.
And that's got to be it.
1, 2, 3, and just like that, we have a new internet champion, Brick Wall, and we were all right. We all picked Brick Wall to win.
We did. Congratulations, Brick Wall, on not only your return, but also taking that internet championship away from Bryson. You know, gets a little bit of revenge, gets a little bit more prestige to the title. I like it.
Well,
All right, let's turn around and hit him with it. Oh.
Well, hopefully Bryson will learn. You know, maybe he can use this as a learning experience to not try to get the jump on somebody that's bigger than you that can knock you out with one punch. And he didn't even. And Brick Wall barely even punched him in the match. Did you notice that he only punched him like 3 times? Everything else was throw. He just threw Bryson around, and Bryson at least Bryson's moving around, so he's not too badly injured. But his pride is definitely hurt. I'll give him that one. It's definitely hurt. And
For sure.
you guys know what match is up next.
This is gonna be a big one.
This is 10 plus years in the making. You know, I mean, when Die Hard first met Jordan Moore, he was, I think, 16 or 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we get to see it. And it was announced earlier tonight, or earlier today. It's a street fight. And, you know, like Jerry Graham said, Die Hard is like 5-0 in street fights. He doesn't lose in street fights. And, you know, Jordan's looking to change that tonight. I mean, I think he can do it. And,
Of course, you mean Die Hard is 5-0 in street fights, not Jerry Graham.
Oh, yeah. Die Hard's 5-0. I thought I said Die Hard, but we got to... Jordan Moore gets his opportunity at the TPP Championship. Die Hard is defending champion. The anticipation is killing me. Die Hard versus Jordan Moore, the TPP Championship. Jordan Moore trying to get out of Die Hard's shadow tonight at Over the Limit. And Jordan Moore with the BTM drop and a 2 count. The Die Hard drop and a 2 count for, and again the BTM drop. Jordan Moore setting something up in the corner here. Not sure what he's doing. The kick to the head. Jesus, the kick to the head. 1, 2, 3, and yes, we have a new TPP champion. Jordan Moore has slayed the beast. One thing everybody forgets to remember is I destroy everybody's idols.
God, it feels good to be back.
Let me cut you off right there, Jordan. I'm glad you're back, but you have a match tonight. It doesn't even look like Jordan Moore came to compete. And Jordan Moore calling for something here. Big spear to James Braden. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, and Jordan Moore picks up a big victory in his return to TPP tonight. So you beat James Braden. Well, tonight you face Bryson. And Bryson here has a steel chair and, getting himself disqualified here, but Jordan Moore pushing him out of the ring. So Jordan seems to really have a plan. You beat Bryson, you beat James Braden, but you can never beat me. And Die Hard coming to the ring, he's got no business being out. Die Hard with a steel chair here to the back of Jerry Graham, causing the disqualification. Jordan Moore staring down Die Hard in a cold stare. A lot of people ask me, why Die Hard? Why did you cause Jerry Graham to beat Jordan Moore via disqualification? Jordan Moore, I'm going to give you one opportunity to face me at TPP Wreckoning. If you can beat your opponent tonight. And James Braden coming to the ring. But no, he eats a spear from Jordan Moore, and Jordan Moore turning his attention over to Extreme here. Big spear in the corner.
Die Hard, I am coming for you. You can throw all your little bodyguards, you can throw all your little thugs and all your heavies that you can at me. I'm still going to keep coming. You think you're gonna send somebody out here and have them try to beat up on me for a little bit? That's the best you've got right now? Trust me.
It is official. Jordan Moore versus Die Hard at TPP Wreckoning. The second match, the final match. And seeing that video package brings back so many memories from the years.
Indeed. I mean, you and I were the ones who sat there and watched Over the Limit. You and I called that match. I mean, that was a war. It was brutal.
It was a 45-minute beyond slobber knocker. I mean, that thing was lock your kids up, lock your wife up, lock the doors, close the windows, everything. I mean, it was intense, and we get to see this again, except aged more.
Except aged. I don't know that Die Hard's got much more aging than he can do. He's getting up there.
He is definitely he's past his prime, no doubt about that. And
For
Jordan
sure.
Moore is right in his prime. I mean, he's right at that point where he's already cemented his legacy. You know, he's guaranteed to be a future Hall of Famer. You know,
And that's the best part is both of these guys are, they don't have anything to prove to anybody other than each other. This is strictly a personal battle. I mean, Jordan has said that he wants to get back in the title hunt eventually, but I mean this right now this is completely personal.
exactly. And this is, I know that Alex McNabb kind of fuddled himself on the pre-show when he was talking about this, but Die Hard, the trainer, the protege, Jordan Moore. And if there was ever one perfect protege, it was probably Jordan Moore. I mean, like Die Hard said on Monday, when he first met Jordan Moore, he was already a more than gifted athlete at that point. He was only, 17 years old. And so for Die Hard, it was kind of like he was training his predecessor. And unfortunately for Die Hard, his predecessor defeated him in 2011. And I have a feeling that Jordan Moore can do it again.
Well, I would never bet against either of these guys. I will say that, in his older age, I don't know that Die Hard can withstand some of the things that he did before. I mean, he is just. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. He's just getting older. That's all there is to it. But I would never bet against either of these guys.
Exactly, and as much as we all give Die Hard crap about decisions that he makes sometimes, like putting James in matches and stuff, I think that there's a mutual respect between these two. It's like that. It's beyond just professional respect, because they traveled the world over for 10 years, and so I think that this is, like you said, this is just a personal thing of we need to see finally who's better at this point. We need to find out who's better.
For sure. I mean, there's no excuses, nothing at all after this match. Said and done. This is it. And it's going to be an amazing match. Here it goes. Die Hard versus Jordan Moore 2.
Exactly, and this is a rare occurrence, and Die Hard showing that he's still in physical. He looks like he's in great shape. It looks like he's been hitting the gym. So when Jordan originally challenged him, he must have started hitting the gym and trying to get ready. And look at this. I mean, just the stare down here, and Die Hard giving a cutthroat there. Oh, and a big slap. Jesus.
That'll make a statement early. He just slapped the face off of Die Hard.
He did. Oh, and then right to the knee. And see, that's the thing. Jordan Moore is probably one of the most intelligent people when it comes to the history of Die Hard's injuries. Even when Die Hard faced Jordan Moore in 2011, when he went to the emergency room, Jordan was still there. And it was just kind of like it's that brotherly connection. And throughout all of his injuries, the surgeries that Die Hard had, Jordan and Brick Wally were all there with him.
For sure, but I mean, everything that you're gonna see him do, it's intelligent, it's smart, it's calculated. He doesn't do something. He doesn't make a move at or toward Die Hard, or in any of his matches for that matter. For the sake of it, seemed like a good idea at the time. He knows it is all predetermined. It's calculated. He knows what he's there to do. He knows what he's trying to accomplish. It's just a matter of how he's going to do it, and we're gonna find out how that's going to happen.
Exactly, and Die Hard here out of the corner, big flying clothesline, and as we see, we know this as Die Hard gets older, but he starts to move slower. Everything starts to move slower for him.
Sure.
That clothesline was slower. A few years ago we were seeing Die Hard doing more aggressive type moves, but like you said, Jordan is very calculated in his moves, and so he knows what to work and when to work it on Die Hard, and he knows if he goes for that left leg early, Die Hard's not going to have a leg to stand on, because everybody knows Die Hard's got bad knees, and Jordan knows exactly where at in those knees they're the worst.
And that could be part of Die Hard's downfall if he does lose this match, is that Jordan has been with him, like you said, for the majority of his career, the entirety of Jordan's career. You know, he knows what's hurt, and this isn't gonna.
I love seeing it, but it looks so painful. 1, 2.
The heart stopper on Die Hard. That's brutal. But like I was saying, you know, he knows exactly what's hurt, when it was hurt, how it was hurt, and he can take advantage of all of them today.
Exactly, and this is something that I've grown to see from Die Hard more recently. You know, within the past year, is a lot of strikes. You know, Die Hard doesn't do, you know, that fancy Sambo suplex anymore. He doesn't do, you know, the big lifting power slam anymore, and you got to believe a large part of that is because his body, you know, can't do it anymore. We talked about that even in 2011, that it just looked like Die Hard just couldn't do a lot of the stuff that he wanted to be able to do, and he can't do it no more. He's aged too much now.
For sure. I mean, it's all strike based. There's not a whole lot of grappling involved anymore because, you know, I don't know that one, he would be able to keep up with it anymore, and two, you know, he's just not as strong.
And you know, and I think, and this is gonna feel like we're breaking that fourth wall, but I think that by Jordan Moore being the one to retire Die Hard, I think that was a very wise move on, you know, Die Hard's part. You know, I think that was probably one of the best things that when Die Hard did get out, I think maybe he should have done a little bit sooner, but I couldn't have imagined it happening with anybody else.
For sure. And it did make sense, and you know, it was symbolic.
Exactly. And you know, I mean, I guess even if it was anybody in TCL, you know, that was a respectable way for Die Hard to, you know, go out. He went out with a bang for sure. I mean, yeah, he lost, but man, he put up a fight. But Jordan Moore was just better on that night.
For sure.
And this is the Die Hard we know. And the kicks to the spine, you know, basic slow maneuvers. This is what Die Hard's got to pace this match, you know, because like we've been, you know, pushing. And Jordan Moore with that lifting flapjack, just lifting Die Hard. And Die Hard's not a small guy, you know, he's 257 pounds. He's bigger than Jordan. And, you know, but like we've been saying all night, Jordan knows. He knows Die Hard.
Did you know originally, Wednesday night on Frontline, that it wasn't supposed to be Sage and Brick Wall?
It wasn't supposed to be Sage and Brick Wall?
No, it was actually, I had heard them backstage talking, it was yesterday when they were setting up for Reckoning, that they were actually planning on it being Jordan Moore, and he was going to send Brick Wall out to fight him. But Brick Wall refused to fight Jordan Moore.
It's interesting.
I could believe it, though. I could believe it. I mean, that's two guys that, you know, much like with that, like we've been pushing this issue all night between these three guys, but they are the original three, you know, and they are the chosen ones. That's, you know, through and through. Even if they're not in a unit anymore together as a three-piece, they are the chosen ones. I mean, Jordan Moore is just as much the chosen one as much as Die Hard or Brick Wall or even James Braden, sort of.
No,
Sort of. No, don't even contend. No.
Well, as you saw there, Die Hard using his head as a weapon. I think Die Hard's head might be the only useful tool he has on his body anymore that hasn't been completely tore apart. I mean, he's been busted open bloody numerous times, but I think his head is probably one of the only things that's still good to use as a weapon. He can't really use his body as a weapon anymore. So
it's just sort of a blunt object. There's nothing in there anymore.
And as you saw there, I mean, Jordan Moore knocking Die Hard down, and we've seen this from Jordan. That senton in the corner.
He's just, there's nothing fancy about that. He just sort of throws his body at him. And I mean, you can't blame him. It's a tool, it's a weapon, but there's nothing fancy about it.
Well, I had a feeling that this was going to be one of the more physically demanding matches, especially on the strike base, and it's living up to that from the opening bell till right now. I mean, we knew Die Hard was going to come in and do strikes, and we knew that Jordan would go pound for pound with Die Hard when it comes to striking. I mean, in all honesty, I think striking-wise, I think Jordan may actually be the better striker. He's got, he started training in MMA right when it started getting really popular in the United States, and so he was mixing that in with, the training he was doing with TCO. So he's able to do like those really high head kicks and, do those those really low leg kicks, the leg sweeps, and even those modified arm bars, like that Fujiwara, that modified, it's not a Fujiwara arm bar. I'm totally having a brain fart right now, but yeah, so Jordan Moore is definitely the more adapted of Die Hard and himself.
For sure. I mean, Jordan has gone through an extent of, he's been through the ringer in terms of, like you said, the MMA stuff. He actually started off he started training in Muay Thai when he was 16, 17 years old. And he became proficient in that, and that was what really kept motivating him, is every time he would think that he could, he'd gone through everything that he needed to know about one I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here either, but once he got through Muay Thai, he went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's been through that. He's gone through the striking. He's gone through the grappling. He took Taekwondo. I mean, he's been in just about everything, and that's what gives him not only that great striking ability, but the great grappling ability. He knows how to use his whole body as a weapon, not just as a a way to move toward each of those grapples, or something you see from some of the younger wrestlers that we get through here once in a while. But even people like Sage, who I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
He's great at grappling. He's great at using speed. But if he could learn to use the striking ability like Jordan Moore has, that could propel him even farther.
Oh yeah, and Jordan bringing Die Hard back in the ring, and the unique structure of a street fight is you can battle anywhere you want. You can take it backstage. You can take it into the crowd, but the pinfall has to occur in the ring.
In the ring, correct.
And like we were saying, Die Hard is undefeated in street fights, and I'm sure Jordan is more than well aware of that. And
I don't think he's really worried about it. He's not concerned about how Die Hard fights anymore. He knows everything he needs to know, and the fact of the matter is, Die Hard is undefeated in street fights because he's never faced Jordan Moore in a street fight.
That is very, very true. And see, and this is why we talk about Jordan and his adaptability, is because he saw Die Hard miss wildly there with that right hand, and he knew to go right for that leg. He knew it.
Yeah, taking Die Hard's base out with all of the knee surgeries that how many knee surgeries has Die Hard had?
Oh, geez, I don't even know anymore. I think the last count was around 6, and that the last one was on both his knees, and he had, I think, metal plates put in them, but then they got removed a year later, which was I think 6 months before that match with Jordan. First time.
And he said he was feeling great for that match. He was in great shape, and he looked great. Look at the athletic ability of Die Hard there.
He's showing he's still got a little bit in there. He's showing he's still got a little bit.
Where did that come from?
He got really limber.
I think
Really
Die Hard.
limber.
I think Die Hard was hoping that maybe his additional weight, bridging on the legs like that, might have held down Jordan, but he should have known better.
Die Hard should have been a little bit more concerned about
I think
his.
he got that more from Melinda. I think Melinda's trying to keep him limber.
As you see, though, Die Hard. This is as aggressive or as strike-based as this match has been. It's actually been a very technical strike-based style match. It's been very slow-paced. It's been very, very slow, and I think that's actually benefiting Jordan more than it is Die Hard, because Die Hard needs to end it quick. He needs to hit hard and he needs to hit fast, and Jordan is keeping it nice and slow. He's keeping a very slow pace with Die Hard, and I don't think Die Hard's used to that. He's used to Jordan Moore from 2011 trying to, do these super fast moves.
Yeah, picking up the pace, going to springboards. Look at what he's doing now. Just taking the time to try to pick apart those knees, take out the base. Everything that both of these men do, like I've said numerous times, it's just so calculated and I mean, you can tell, that they aren't making this up on the fly. This is all cold and calculated. It's kind of brutal to watch.
Exactly.
With as slow as it is, it's not really a slow match. It's a brutal match. It's painful.
It's like if a match could have perfection, that's what this would be, because they know, like we've been saying this all night, but they know each other inside and out. I mean, there's pretty much nothing that they don't know about each other. They know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to strike, when to take some damage. I mean, they're a different breed.
For sure.
When to goldfish.
Goldfish.
Well, I talked to Jordan Moore earlier this morning when I first got in at 7:30, and he was already here, bouncing off the ropes, getting himself loosened up, and he was talking about his plan. Like, he was really quiet about what his plans were for tonight. He's like, Chris, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do what I do best. And then he said he's going to kick Die Hard's ass, and I can say that because we're on a pay-per-view, so I could say that word on a pay-per-view.
Right. And Melinda give you permission.
Look at this, Die Hard with an armbar here. It's unique.
And the word you were looking for earlier was the Kimura.
Yeah.
The Kimura is what Jordan put on him the last time they faced.
Ooh, did you see that rib punch? That was like a rib kidney punch right there. That's gonna leave a sting.
It's gonna leave
It's gonna leave a stain.
A sting.
A sting. Okay.
But you see Die Hard taking a page out of Jordan's book there, using that Kimura to his own advantage. Almost.
Die Hard tried to. See, Die Hard took an uncalculated risk right there, and he did not. It didn't pay off, and that's why those that do, that's what I don't get about with Bryson. I mean, think of Jordan Moore or Brick Wall. I mean, even Brick Wall is very calculating in what he does. He knows, when he's gonna do something, and that's what gets me about Bryson. I mean, Scythe is just the spitting image of TCO. I mean, he very cold and calculating. But with Bryson, he's all over the place. But as you saw, I mean, Die Hard went out of his comfort zone there, tried to do that outside dive, and he paid for it.
Well, I mean, we saw Die Hard. I mean, how many times have we seen Die Hard go to the top rope and just flop?
That's true.
It's nothing that he's ever been good at, but something he always tries. I mean, you can't blame him for trying, I guess, but it's not ever a great idea.
Yeah, exactly, especially for Die Hard. I mean, no, nothing against you, Die Hard, but you're not meant to fly,
right,
or run. You're just meant to do basic things, and
you're just meant to fart dust.
Wow.
Now that one was a little mean.
Sorry.
He's not that
Oh,
prehistoric yet. He's not that prehistoric yet. And as you see, Die Hard trying to figure out what he's going to do with Jordan here. I think Die Hard assumed this match was going to be over a lot sooner than it was.
And that would have been the perfect world for him, but I know.
Oh
my gosh!
How did he bounce up from that?
Well, he put his chest in. Well, the one thing is Die Hard's chest isn't broke. His knees are broke, his arms are broke, his legs, everything except for his chest, I think, is broke. And so if he just uses his chest when he does something, he should be all right.
His chest and his head, so.
So he could he should do cross bodies all the time then, right? Just
cross bodies and headbutts. It's the extent of his moveset.
I mean, as you saw there, Die Hard just got a big spine buster, and that's not going to help the spine any.
And look at the calculator. It just you know that he knows exactly what he's planning to do.
Oh yeah, and look, that's dangerous right there. I ain't gonna lie. And Jordan catches him with the clothesline and
flying clothesline. That's dangerous.
That was very, very calculated by Jordan, though. I mean, he knew the distance, and that's the thing. When it comes to Jordan Moore, perfection is, it's an understatement to say perfection. I'm sorry, it's just an understatement. If there is a term that you could coin for going beyond perfection, that is what Jordan Moore would be.
Well, I mean, look, you could go even as far to and that it could be an ego thing, but look at his Twitter. His Jordan Moore's Twitter is the best in the world. Underscore J Moore. That's his Twitter name. He knows, and like I said, some of it might be ego, but he doesn't play around. He's straight to the point. He's saying, this is what's up. I am the best. So prove me wrong. Go ahead and try.
Mine's best Twitter. I'm TPPENT. Oh!
Well, like, I've had people ask me this on Twitter before, speaking of social media, but people have asked about like Jordan Moore competing against some of the younger guys in other companies. It would still be perfection. Jordan is that part of my language again, but he's that damn good. He is. He's that damn good.
What is he doing here?
I have no idea, but
He's going to the top rope.
This is not going to end well for Die Hard. And a suplex through the table, Jesus!
Superflex to the outside of the ring. Die Hard's dead. What?
I think the spine his body as a weapon.
There's a hole in the floor.
I think the only weapon Die Hard has left now is just his skull. I think that's what he's got left.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, look, they're handing Die Hard a crutch. They're nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Oh, well, never mind, Jordan. You grabbed it.
Oh, crutch right to the face there. But like I was saying, I mean, if Jordan Moore was to go wrestle somewhere else, he would do just as fine. He would still flourish. I mean, he's one of probably the most adaptable wrestlers I've ever seen.
Well, it's because of all the training. It's because he's spent three separate stints in Japan wrestling there. This is what he does. It's who he is. He is a wrestler.
Out of nowhere, that spear, and Die Hard didn't maybe
that could be it.
1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that was so close. Oh man! And
Die Hard popped right back up there. I think he got a little bit of an adrenaline rush. I think he knows what just almost happened.
Yeah, he almost lost his undefeated streak there. That was close.
I think we call that a concussion.
I don't know. Die Hard's as you see though, Die Hard's starting to run a lot slower, so his legs are feeling the effects of the leg sweeps, the elbow drops on the legs, the stomps, everything. He's feeling it.
The tables.
Yeah. I mean, the spine is probably hurting, but I think his legs are probably hurting more than his spine is. I mean, Jordan, he picked those legs apart in the early going, and he knew that if he could get Die Hard in a long match, then if he could take those legs out early, it was going to be easy.
For sure, this type of match, this length is definitely going to benefit Jordan in the long run.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can see it ourselves. Die Hard's already walking with a gimp, and so that's not good for. I mean, Die Hard will go until he can't walk anymore. We've seen it before. We've seen him get hauled off on stretchers. But I don't know. I think it might be wiser for Die Hard to step back on this one and just because we don't know how much more damage he can take to his legs before he gets put in a wheelchair. Let's see. I'm curious to know what Die Hard's thinking. He might be setting up for the Die Hard drop or something right here on the entrance ramp. I mean, we saw him do that to Damian Gamer at Network Collision, and that busted Damian Gamer wide open.
For sure, we've seen it before. I mean, on that kind of terrain up there, using that metal floor, that would definitely take a toll, and that might give him what he needs to take Jordan out here. Right?
It might, but then comes a question of Die Hard would have to haul Jordan Moore all the way back into the ring to pin him.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if he's might not be looking at a long-term fix right here. Maybe a short-term solution to try to get away from him for a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly, and another drop kick right to the leg, and Jordan knows to go to it. He knows to hit that left knee as hard as he can, and Die Hard just drops. I mean, but Die Hard, I gotta hand it to Die Hard. He's because Jordan Moore, he's got 12 years younger than Die Hard. So yeah, actually no, he's 13 years younger than Die Hard.
Roughly, yeah.
And so he can strike faster than Die Hard, but Die Hard's responding to the strikes. He's responding himself, and that's nice. And I'm impressed by this, to say the least. I mean, the match with Damian Gamer was all strike based and it was a lot of Die Hard being on the offense, but this has been a lot of Jordan Moore.
It has, and I mean, we've seen a lot from both competitors. I mean, these guys are making their way up to the ramp. I don't know what they're gonna do up here. Again, you need to pin your opponent in the ring. You know, dropping them out here is not going to do you any good.
Exactly, and you know this makes me wonder. You know, what is Die Hard's plan? I mean, because now he's bringing him backstage up on a ramp here, and we're trying to get a camera backstage, ladies. Okay, here we go, and Die Hard, big European uppercut there, and followed by a big right hand, and they're fighting right outside of, or in the backstage area. They're right
by the locker rooms.
Yeah, right past the gorilla position, which is where the wrestlers come out and. This is a lot of metal objects back here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of metal objects, and that's not going to feel good at all. And wait a second. That is cement. That's not padded. That's cement that he just backdropped him onto.
They literally took this into a street brawl, guys.
Yeah, out here on the ring, we've got that really, really thin padding on the floor. It's like a wrestling mat almost on the ring on the floor. Excuse me. Back there, there's
oh my god!
Literally nothing.
That door to the face, that was great.
Oh my gosh!
Did you just clap, Billings?
I did.
I did.
And I'm just saying. I mean,
our fans are applauding. Billings thought he needed to do it as well.
That's right. That's right. Because these guys, they're dishes. They are giving it everything. And who would have thought, like Die Hard of all people would let the match go backstage like this? I mean, he wouldn't try to, if he didn't have a plan, he wouldn't try to take on any additional, physical pain.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, he's just trying to throw him around out here now. I mean, I don't know if he's got something planted back there. I don't know if this had to have been, he had to have thought about this before he did it. That's not something you do on the fly. I don't.
Yeah, exactly, and I think part of it might be, again, that the respect thing, because at this point, I'm sure that TCO members would have already gotten involved.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, maybe he had them excuse themselves from the building, or I mean, Scythe isn't going to do anything for fear of get himself injured or something before his match later. But it's an interesting situation.
Exactly, and Jordan is answering the call here. He's answering everything that Die Hard's throwing at him, and he's doing it in the best possible fashion that he possibly can. I mean, he's just tit for tat here, punch for punch, and Jordan now bringing Die Hard back out here onto the ramp.
Yep.
And Jordan now sprinting in, but Die Hard catches him with the side headlock, and that was probably desperation. I'm not going to lie. That was desperation right there.
Oh, it was a good catch, though, and I mean, Jordan had a full head of steam going into that, so the ability for Die Hard to turn that around and use it to his advantage was good.
Yeah, exactly. And as you see, Die Hard's not really running, and when he does run, he's just kind of gimping around. So he. I
mean, look at what Jordan's done to his knee all night. I'm surprised he's still standing.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you got to wonder: is it adrenaline that's keeping Die Hard going? Is it pride? Is it ego? Or maybe it's just maybe Die Hard really does feel threatened right now, and he should, because Jordan Moore, I think he's got his number tonight. I mean, Die Hard may sit here and try to pander to the fans and tell them, hey, I'm still in great shape, but Jordan looks phenomenal right now. And Die Hard counters here, sends Jordan into the ropes, and Jordan, big knee face buster there, right on the chin, and that's not going to help Die Hard any. That's going to take out his last available weapon.
For sure, and Jordan needs to take advantage of what he's got going here.
I don't even know what to call that.
I'm not either. It was almost similar to Die Hard's roll the dice, and it might have been his own flavor on that.
It was like a backwards roll the dice. That was actually pretty cool looking.
That was. I like it. And a big flapjack there. Jordan, like I said, if he's going to take advantage of Die Hard letting him get that big knee to the face off, although Die Hard looks like he's setting up something here himself.
A knee and then a neck breaker there, and I thought maybe he was going for the Die Hard drop.
It looked like he thought about it, but maybe it didn't look right to him or something. But
You know, and you're right too, and that's one thing that's always been really big for the TCO guys. I mean, even if they call somebody to their feet, they don't always hit that finish because, you know, if it doesn't look right, then they don't do it. You know, and that's part of that mindset coming from, I hate to say it like this, but from the old school of, you know, everything.
For sure.
But they're definitely very, very old school when it comes to, you know, the way that they wrestle their matches. Very aggressive. You know, they pander to the fans, but they're still very, very aggressive. And as you see Die Hard again, the single leg Boston Crab here on Jordan Moore, he's just trying to wrench it, just trying to have Jordan feel some of that leg pain that Die Hard feels.
Well, and I mean, look at what Die Hard just did. You're talking old school. You just saw Die Hard do an electric chair drop. When's the last time you saw one of those?
That is very true.
It's I mean, it takes a special kind of person to remember the last time you saw one of those around you.
Exactly.
Does he?
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's one of the unique things about the older TCO guys. They have kind of these retro-fitted movesets. I mean, like Jordan Moore. Oh, and Die Hard moved out of the way. I think that was the first miscalculation that Jordan has made all match.
I believe so, and we'll see if Die Hard can take advantage of that. Maybe he can, pick up the win here.
He might be. He might be able to. I mean, that was impressive for Die Hard to be able to do that. I mean, he just kind of sprinted forward and ducked his head, but it was intelligence. I mean, if Jordan had just been an inch less of a jump, he would have caught Die Hard right on the back of the head.
And you can see him, trying to ground Jordan and see if he can do that little bit extra damage he needs to do to try to keep him down. He's throwing him from corner to corner here.
Ooh!
Big running STO. That if he can set up the Die Hard drop or something, that could very well be the end of it.
Wait a second. Die Hard's gonna do it. He's going for it. This move is called Roll the Dice, and that may be it. Hooking the far leg here. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! And Jordan gets that shoulder up.
I think that might have been the move that won Die Hard his first title.
It was. That was his first ever TPP title win was with the Roll the Dice, and he just ate all that Tiger Bomb though from Jordan Moore and barely got his shoulders up, and catches Jordan with the, we coin it as the Die Hard Spine Buster, but it's a modified Spine Buster with a leg, and he hit it, and he only has to hit it once to win a match, and Die Hard setting up the Die Hard drop there.
Oh, that could be it. Jordan could be out right now. He's not moving.
1,
Done.
2. Oh my God! And somehow, some way, Jordan Moore staying alive.
Pure instinct. That's all it could be is pure instinct.
Was Die Hard kind of went into overdrive here, within the past couple of minutes. He just kind of went into overdrive and started kind of maybe feeling that desperation. Like we were saying, I think Die Hard's plan was to try to end it early, and it didn't work out that way.
No, it has not gone well. Jordan throwing his own spine buster right back at Die Hard. And again, taking that time, that calculated knee straight to the throat, to the chest of Die Hard. I think Jordan needs to make something happen pretty quick here. Like I said, it looks like Die Hard's really starting to feel it.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, we're seeing Die Hard start to repeat moves that he knows that he can do with limited, repercussions on his body.
For sure.
And he's just, I can't take anything away from Die Hard. I'm not going to take anything away from him tonight, but I'm definitely not going to take anything away from Jordan either, because Jordan has been doing phenomenal against Die Hard. I mean, he's been very calculated this entire match, and we're just now starting to see Die Hard start to get sloppy.
Right, you would see, last time they faced each other, you would see Jordan throw caution to the wind a little bit more than he has now, but looks like he's setting something up right here.
Oh my God, the BTM drop, and I haven't seen that move in 2.5 years.
He hasn't done that since he's been back.
Wait a second. Wes.
Oh, no.
Wes. He's going to do it again.
Oh my God.
My God, right in the skull. That may be it. Into cover 1, 2, 3. Oh my.
Oh, he kicked out.
How did he kick out?
What did I just see? That's the move that ended Die Hard's career.
Exactly. That was the move that put Die Hard away. And he kicked out.
He wasn't going to allow it to happen again.
Apparently, he was. he must have planned on that kick attempt happening. But wait a second, Dyer, he calls this the DH plex. And this is a dangerous suplex right on the back of the neck and the spine. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. But oh my God, I cannot believe that Dyer kicked out of that kick. I mean, that was right on the forehead.
Maybe he saw it coming. Maybe maybe Jordan didn't get all of it. That big springboard kick right to the face puts Die Hard down. I don't think that's that doesn't do it. It's gonna take something more than that. But I'm in shock that he kicked out of I mean that kick to the skull. That is what put Die Hard in the hospital last time.
Exactly, and oh man, this match has taken the cake tonight. I mean, I know this is a long match, but if you're still sticking with us, we are so grateful that you're getting to experience this, because the last time we saw that kick, Die Hard was done, and he's still in here fighting, and then that in itself is an accomplishment for Die Hard.
For sure, and that is I mean, if he doesn't take anything else away from tonight, he survived the punt kick, which he did not last time.
Exactly, and like I said, that's for Die Hard. That's an accomplishment in itself. I mean, me and you had talked about that earlier, that if Jordan tried that again, it would probably be the end of the match. But we didn't expect him to do that, because we've seen him doing the spear as of late, and Jordan pulling out retro finishes, and that's something that you don't see very often. Somebody pulling out an old finish that they did, back in their heyday.
Right, and I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess. But we haven't seen him use the BTM drop or the punt kick or anything. I mean, he's stuck to the I don't know what else to call it, but that inverted roll the dice move from behind, and then that spear that he's been using to pretty much finish off everybody's face so far.
Exactly, and a very close. Long 2 count there for Jordan Moore, and Dyer gets up swinging with the right hand. And the thing is, as slow as Die Hard's punches are, you gotta believe he puts extra impact on him as much as he can when he lands it.
For sure,
he's trying to put everything he's got left in the tank, and as you see, Dyer holding his leg, and I don't think that this is a good idea for Dyer to try to make this.
Going to the top rope. This never goes well for Die Hard.
Exactly, jumps off. Oh, but he catches him with
broken leg.
That's like 1 in a million for Die Hard to hit the move off the top rope. I mean, that very seldomly ever happens. I think at a max, I think I've ever seen him hit 2 moves off the top rope.
Yeah, that's got to be the second or third in his career that he's ever landed.
Well, now you know that. Now we know that Die Hard's getting desperate. If he goes to the top rope, he's getting desperate.
Yeah, he might be just trying to wonder, what more it's going to take to finish Jordan off, and Jordan's got to be wondering the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, with Die Hard, there hasn't been much of a change in his finisher setups. He's always had the Die Hard drop, and he's always had roll the dice. Those have been his finishers, and Jordan has kicked out of both of them.
Yeah, and I don't know what more Jordan's got left. He's throwing a spear, he's throwing the BTM drop, he's throwing that punt kick. What left does he have in his arsenal to finish off Die Hard?
That is very true. And Jordan sending Die Hard up, sleep. Oh, whoa!
Oh! He just catapulted Die Hard into the air, catches him on the way down with the BTM drop. This has got to be
2, 3, and Jordan Moore is now
for the second time
2-0 against Die Hard. Jordan Moore is 2-0 against the owner, the creator of the power plant of TPP, the man behind all of this. Jordan Moore 2-0 is against Die Hard now. That
was an incredible match. I went into this thinking, how could you live up to the quality of what we saw last time? And we've just witnessed it. This went above and beyond expectations, and Jordan pulling out a second victory over the man who taught him everything he knows about this business.
Exactly, and for Die Hard, like you said, if he doesn't take anything away from tonight, he should at least take away that he kicked out of the punt kick, because that in itself is mind-blowing, because the last time we sat here and we almost cried, watching that happen, just because of the sheer force behind that kick. It was so nasty looking.
Well, and the desperation that it had to take, Jordan to go to that level, that he knows that's what it's going to take to try to finish off, this person that at one point he called his brother.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't want to switch gears yet, but I know we're going to have to in a few moments. And, because we got the TPP title match up next, the main event of the evening. But how do you top that? They did put a package together for us, so we'll be right back. And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is time for the main event of the evening, the TPP Championship, Adam D. Whitmore versus Scythe. Now, unfortunately for Adam D. Whitmore, he did, from Strike Zone, he did suffer a minor rib injury from his match with James Braden. Now, Adam D. Whitmore has assured us that he's okay, but as a precaution, the trainers backstage asked him to tape up his ribs and his shoulder. I don't know if this is going to play a large part into this matchup or not. I hope it doesn't.
I'm guessing that taping up exactly what hurts is going to give it away what does hurt, so I'm going to guess that he's going to constantly work on that part of the body tonight, and that's how he's going to probably pull out his win.
Well, I mean, for Scythe, that would be ideal, but we've talked about this before, but Adam D. Whitmore has been training his entire life to wrestle, so this is one of those injuries that, I'm sure he's probably experienced it before, the bruised ribs, so he should be able to weather this storm. I hope he can, because I'm sorry, but I don't want to see all members of TCO holding titles tonight. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it happen like that.
Well, I don't know that you would really still consider Jordan Moore a member of TCO, so he got a victory. I mean, he's not a title holder, but I do have to agree. I would like to see Whitmore pick up a victory here, although Scythe is a very, very worthy competitor.
Oh yeah, I mean, Scythe is definitely worthy, and now Adam D. Whitmore has a big target right on his chest, in his back and his ribs that Scythe is going to zero in on. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I know Scythe. I've sat down and talked with Scythe before. You've talked with him before, Wes, and even you, Landon, and he's very cold about when he wrestles people. If he sees a weakness in them, he will expose it.
Yeah, and to Landon's point, it does help him to a point, to try to keep those body parts a little bit more secure, and it might help him deal with some of the pain, cope with some of the pain, but it does paint an enormous target directly over what he's trying to protect.
Exactly, and I think maybe that's why they kind of had him put the tape on his shoulder, to maybe kind of throw Scythe off. I mean, Whitmore was very quiet about the exact area that was hurting, so maybe that's why he's got it on the shoulder as well. I mean, it could be the lower ribs, upper ribs. You know, we won't ever know for sure, but we're about to find out just how much it's going to affect Adam D. Whitmore, because this TPP title match is going to happen, and it's going to happen in just a few moments.
For sure, and I mean, this is going to be a great match. How can you not look forward to the main event of the evening? And I know saying that I've been looking forward to it all day is going to be a little bit cliche, but this is going to be a huge match. And, you know, seeing somebody, a fresh faces in terms of, you know, it's not, it has been a while since I've been back, obviously, but, you know, when I was here, it was always Die Hard and somebody, or, you know, when Jordan Moore took the title from him, it was almost always Die Hard in that title picture, and seeing a couple fresh faces, and you know, at least from my point of view, it's very refreshing.
Exactly, and this is a unique situation in itself. I mean, because this is Scythe's big opportunity, you know, especially for Scythe, you know, coming from TCO, because like you said, I mean, Dyer always had himself right there in that title opportunity, but Adam D. Whitmore's not backing down here, even with the taped up ribs. I mean, the side headlock takedown into the quick cover, making Scythe exasperate a little bit of energy every single time, you know, using that little amount to kick out, and that's all it's going to take every time, just that little amount. And as Whitmore here, gets caught in a spine buster from Scythe, and Scythe wiping off his hands, going for the cover, not even a 1 count on Adam D. Whitmore. And for Whitmore, you know, this is him locking it into third gear. He's got to try to keep pushing to, you know, be successful and become the champion. I mean, either way, we're going to have a new TPP champion tonight.
For sure, and I mean, there's not a disappointing end to this evening. I know we both have preferences. We both have people that we'd like to see take the title home tonight, but there's no losing tonight. This is a win-win.
Exactly, and Landon, did you want to add anything? I mean, you've been quiet pretty much since the end of the Dyer Moore match.
I think he's enjoying what he's seeing. I think he's watching a great match.
I've been mesmerized tonight. I am sorry. These last 2 matches are probably the big ones I've been looking for, too. And, you know, hearing your voice all night kind of puts me to sleep.
Well, thank you.
I mean, this is the longest we've actually had to sit here and listen to you. This is terrible. No. But anyways, I'm hoping that Scythe is going to win tonight. So,
see, you're pulling for Scythe. I'm gonna go with what Jerry Graham said on the pre-show. I'm pulling for Adam D. Whitmore. I mean, this
because you're a Jerry Graham fanboy.
Hey, Jerry Graham he's got his hand in everything in TPP. I mean, he's part of the training program for NGCT. You know, he's got a large part in that and trying to help get some new talent in here. You know, he was even touting up Jordan Moore on the pre-show. So. You know, and he was right. He said Jordan was going to win. So if he says Adam D. Whitmore is going to win, I'm gonna agree with Jerry Graham, and I'm going to say Adam D. Whitmore.
I mean, he called one big match. Why not go with him for the second? I could see the logic there.
But man, I don't know. It's just for Adam D. Whitmore. He like we've talked. You know, he's trained his entire life to be a wrestler. He knew he wanted to be a wrestler at 5 years old. You know, and Scythe, like the story of Scythe was really simple actually. Because he came into contact with Die Hard about the time when Die Hard met Craig Hazard, you know, many years ago over in the UK. And, you know, Scythe hails from Scotland. And he was wrestling independently, and Scythe continued to wrestle independently until, you know, last year. And I guess he called up Die Hard, and he came over and signed that contract and, you know, launched himself right on the front line.
Oh, and what a great opportunity it was, and you know, look at where he is now. I mean, this is a big match for everybody involved.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. Even the referee has a big match, so he better be right on time with his counts. Otherwise,
he needs to pay attention this match.
That's right. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to, you know, go backstage, and we're gonna have to find some new referees.
You're gonna go backstage?
Yeah, I'm gonna go backstage and find some new referees.
I'm praying for a bad ref so you'll leave.
I'll do it after the match. After the match.
Yeah, I think you should go right now.
No, I want to see the completion of this match. I want to see who's going to be the next TPP champion. I want to see who is going to be.
You can watch it in the back.
I don't want.
Yeah, you can watch it.
I like being right here.
Why don't you go ahead back there? You find us a new ref, and then we don't have to worry about Landon sleeping over here anymore, and I can sit here and enjoy the match in peace and quiet.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna do all the play-by-play and talk to all the viewers, let them know exactly what's going on.
Sure, I mean, if that's
Oh,
what it
did
takes
you
to get
see
rid of
that?
you.
That was a wild elbow there by Adam D. Whitmore, turning Scythe inside out, going for the cover. 1, 2, and a 2 count. As somehow, some way, Scythe is still hanging in here.
And somehow, in some way, you're still talking. Go to the back!
I mean, I'm on board with that. I think you would be a great addition to the backstage interview team.
Oh, okay. The voice of the power plant would be a great addition to the interview team.
Yeah, you can sound like that guy that sounded like a chipmunk before.
Oh, well, I'll let Lance Sealy know that's what you think of his voice.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he heard me. I'm sure he'll watch this.
I'm sure he's watching right now. I mean, I'm sure that everybody in the back right now is probably laughing at us while we're joking during this spectacular main event
Right.
match.
Who said I was joking? I mean,
Just totally ignoring the main event of the evening involving the new TPP champion in the ring. So we should probably get back to that. But again, Billings, if you'd like to excuse yourself back to the back, I won't hold you.
No. As you saw there, Scythe with a very lowbrow kick. And just so people are aware, this matchup is a normal one-on-one. Disqualifications count, or I believe it might be no disqualification. I'm not 100% sure on that. I thought it was a normal match, but, you know, we did have some last-minute changes earlier today, so it very well may be no disqualification. I think it is disqualification.
Which was Billings' roundabout way of saying he has no idea what's going on.
No, I know what's going on. I know we have the TPP title match going on in the near fall.
oh yeah?
From
Just like
Adam
you know
Whitmore.
about that injury and where it's at?
Well, that's because Whitmore hasn't told anybody. He didn't want to give it away. The thing was, he probably said that so that nobody would tell Scythe.
No, I don't blame him for not wanting to talk to you. I totally understand where he's coming from.
I talked to Adam D. Whitmore earlier today, and I even asked him about his injury, and he said that it wasn't any of my business, so it's none of my business. But Adam D. Whitmore is putting up one hell of a fight right now against Scythe, and he's got Scythe reeling, and this is an important part for Adam D. Whitmore. I mean, we've never seen these two in the ring together, so this is a new experience for both of them.
And
It is,
it's
and I
gonna
mean-
be definitely a good match tonight. And so far, it's been really back and forth.
You know, and that's the great thing about this is both competitors have had their time to, you know, do their homework about each other, make sure they can know as much about each other as they can. And obviously, this is a no disqualification match, as he's looking for something to smack his opponent with under the ring.
Yep. So now we know for sure.
Yeah, Billings, it's no disqualification.
Well, the original
Thank
match.
you for being informed, Ballings.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
you guys are broadcast colleagues too. You know, you could have
You're
been
supposed to
informed.
be in charge. You
We're just
know
let
what?
you
I'm
watch
gonna
you struggle.
I think I'm gonna go talk to Melinda about the new voice of the TPP because the old voice I think is getting a little old and a little bit senile.
Well, as you can see here, Scythe is starting to focus his attacks on the chest and rib area of Adam D. Whitmore, and unfortunately for Whitmore, he's got to do something here. And Whitmore, big counter, much needed. You know, at that moment there, much needed counter.
And these elbows to the to the chest are not very comfortable either. He's just working on every part of the chest and arm that he can, trying to take advantage. I think he's trying to make him feel what he feels like right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, on Strike Zone, why else would Die Hard have Adam D. Whitmore compete so close to Reckoning, especially against somebody like James Braden? He meant for Adam D. Whitmore to get hurt.
Well, and you know, as far as that goes, he's gotten everything that he wanted tonight except the victory over Jordan.
Exactly. I mean, and that in itself it's great. You know, I mean, now Die Hard can't say he's undefeated in street fights. I mean,
And I mean, you know as well as I know everything that Die Hard said. You know, backstage. You know what Jordan talked about. Him saying, you know, after the last time they fought, how it was a fluke, or how he let himself get pinned and all that stuff. And you know, that's all put to rest. We know that none of that was true. At least it's not for tonight, because we watched the trainer, the teacher, if you will, of Jordan Moore, take him out, and he's proven himself. He doesn't need to do anything else.
Exactly, and Adam D. Whitmore here starting to gain. He's right here next to our announce table, and Adam D. Whitmore, big back chop, and this isn't a false count anywhere matchup. It's no disqualification, but it's not false count anywhere.
Are you sure about that?
I'm like 99% sure.
Okay.
Where's the 1% at there?
Well, there's a chance I could be wrong, so I'll just say 99%.
Okay.
But Adam D. Whitmore wrenching this flipped over armbar here, modified Kimura lock.
And he needs to, this pin, obviously, just like the street fight, it needs to finish this match needs to take place in the ring, unless there's something else that you don't know, and it's actually a ladder match or something. This is a TLC match? Is what this is?
Probably, it probably is. I mean,
okay.
like I said, they were doing last minute changes, and see, while Landon Miles and West Steel give me a hard time, they know that we were all kept out of the loop about what the actual stipulation were. We were all told.
I knew it.
You knew that it was no
I
DQ.
knew it. Yep.
We were aware.
Okay, all right, because this morning I remember the email that all three of us received when it listed out the match stipulations, and I saw it and it said that normal one-on-one matchup, and now it ends up being a no disqualification. So I'm assuming they made that change right before the pre-show and forgot to forward it on our notes. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm just saying that's what I'm gonna go with.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, I suppose.
That's
your world.
right.
I'm just living in it.
And Adam D. Whitmore here eats a table right to the ribs, and again, that's not going to help the situation any, because Adam D. Whitmore's he's hurting. His ribs have got to be hurting this far.
We've seen a few tables break tonight. Oh my gosh.
And Scythe here, getting himself into firm control, and that leg drop, kind of across the chest there, and the throat. Just Scythe is being very calculating in his attacks here, but at the same time, Whitmore's answering the challenge. I mean, he's able to kick out and get back to his feet, every time Scythe attacks him. So that's good in that sense. Now, I'm just trying to wonder what it is. When are we going to see one of these guys hit their finish? When is that going to happen?
Well, it sounds like you're wondering a lot of things tonight, Billy.
I am full of curiosity tonight. And Whitmore going to the top rope, jumping off, and threw caution to the wind, and he crashed and burned.
He wasn't moving. How did you miss him, Whitmore? Come on.
I think Whitmore maybe needs to practice his math a little bit better and get his trajectories the right way.
I guess he doesn't go to the top rope an awful lot, and in that sense, he's similar to Die Hard.
Very, very high failure rate.
Right.
And using that crutch there right to the face.
That looks like the one that Jordan used on Die Hard last match.
I've noticed that we have a lot of TPP fans that have crutches.
Involving their own. You're right. Everybody needs to keep their own belongings on the correct side of our protective railing. It's there for a reason.
Exactly. It's to protect them and to protect our superstars from, like last year, we had a lot of fans that would give their drinks to the wrestlers, mid-match, and that's a health hazard. Into the cover here, too. And almost a 3 count for Adam D. Whitmore there.
Well, they've taken the fans' ability to take their drinks to ringside away from them. They're not allowed to do that anymore. I guess they need to keep the crippled people away from ringside now, too.
Well, look at this modified...
All the people trying this stuff at home.
Modified camel clutch here. This is a unique camel clutch. He's got the knee firmly into the lower back there and then just wrenching. I mean, that's... Scythe can't move. He's got to tap or else he's got to get out, and he was able to get himself out there. Luckily. Oh, and that would be...
That was mean.
That was a Kapora kick, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay, because I just wanted to make sure I got that name right. It happened so quick, and just like that, Scythe back in the driver's seat.
Happening so quick, it really changes the word, don't it?
Scythe, big right hand there, and now Scythe going to the outside and big right hand right across the side of the skull, and now we're seeing Scythe go to the top rope, leaping elbow drop, hooking the far leg 1, 2, then almost a 3 count, but again Adam D. Whitmore, that resiliency.
He's apparently he's got a little bit better success rate going to the top than Whitmore does.
Apparently, I think he's 1 for 1 so far in this matchup.
Correct. Which, oddly enough, is better than Die Hard's entire career.
That is very true. He's got 100. Oh, and a big modified. That was like a spinning uppercut there, and then now again a seated camel clutch.
Yep. And those camel clutches do not feel good.
Exactly, and Adam D. Whitmore's he's wrenching on it, but it's not. It doesn't appear that he's got full pressure on, and you got to believe it's the injured ribs. It's hurting to stretch. And his Scythe isn't moving. He's got to figure out some way to get out of this submission here. And Whitmore may have let go because he was losing his grip there. And Scythe catches Whitmore with the quick power slam. And that is not going to help Adam D. Whitmore's case any.
No, I mean that looks like it could be the beginning of something bad there for Whitmore.
As you see, Scythe was getting lippy with the referee there. Not really sure why. The referee's been pretty spot on with his counts so far in this match.
I think it's just overall frustration, taking it out on whoever he can.
Oh, Scythe again. Okay,
Oh.
Scythe is 2 for 2 now.
Yes.
Off the top rope, so he's definitely he's got a much higher success rate than Die Hard, and he was able to do it twice in one night. And Whitmore grabbed Scythe right by the hair there and picked him back up, and now Whitmore a standing sidekick. And the fans are now pulling the weapons away from Adam D. Whitmore. As you saw, he was trying to take that fan's guitar. We have another guitar here. I mean, I don't understand why these fans are giving their guitars up like that. I mean, guitars aren't cheap.
I don't know this. I don't know what these fans have with guitars, but are they selling those at the gift shop? Is that what's going on?
They must be. It must be a new arrival that we weren't made aware of.
In the gift. Well, you not being aware of something is nothing that I'd be surprised about. So that's not shocking. But the gift shop selling guitars to hand to the wrestlers would be.
And as you see, the Adam D. Whitmore using the kendo stick now as a weapon. I mean, he's been on the receiving end of a couple of those kendo stick shots from Scythe, earlier in this matchup. And for Whitmore, he's trying to. I think he's trying to figure out what he's going to do here to, make that difference. And Whitmore now going for the cover here. 1, 2, and almost a 3 count off of that big boot again. Whitmore going off the ropes, but Scythe again catches Whitmore with the spine buster, and those spine busters are not going to feel good. Wait a second, Scythe, he calls that the Reaper's call, that lunging DDT, or that inverted, or the implanting DDT.
All right.
I was a little tongue-tied
You're
there.
fired.
I was tongue-tied there, but
This happened all night. We gotta stop.
nope. I was I'm very excited about tonight. Oh, using the steel chair as a one-man concerto there. And Scythe now swinging for the fences with the steel chair on Adam D. Whitmore. It may only be a matter of time now before.
Yeah, I've got to believe that time is running a little bit short here for Whitmore. I mean, like we said at the beginning of this match, that the tape across his ribs and his shoulder, that's nothing but a target, and it's exactly the area that Scythe has been focusing on.
Exactly, and I mean, Adam D. Whitmore, don't get me wrong, he's been putting up a hell of a fight, but wait a second, what is Scythe doing? Oh my God, a DDT on the...
Oh,
Jesus, that could have broken his neck.
He's out. He's got to be out.
What is...
concussion.
Standing him up on the outside of the ring, throws him back in. I mean, he's focusing on that head, and a big leg drop right to the...
I think he's giving him something else to worry about.
I mean, that was just sick looking. 1, 2. This might be it. And oh my God! Somehow
Oh.
Adam D. Whitmore kicked out.
How's he even conscious?
Pure adrenaline, I think, on the part of Adam D. Whitmore.
I mean that big, that the cracked rib is a thing of the past now. He's got to be worried about a concussion.
Exactly, and that for Adam D. Whitmore, I get it. He wants to become the champion, but at what point do you have to say I have to stop because I need to take care of my health? Because that DDT isn't going to do him any favors.
I don't think any wrestler's ever going to say that.
Well, I don't know, but Whitmore's he's trying to stay in this, but the damage he's taken, the bandaged ribs, I don't know.
Keep cracking his neck like that, we're going to have some problems. You have some serious arthritis.
Well, I think he's trying to, shake out the cobwebs, trying to make sure everything's still functioning up there, because, he's taken a lot of shots to the head and neck area and the back.
I mean you're never gonna hear, especially somebody in a main event and championship picture, just say that they can't continue. But there's got to be a breaking point.
Yeah, exactly. And what is Whitmore doing here? Throwing Scythe back first into that barricade, and the barricade doesn't have much give to it. It's
very thinly padded. Those are steel.
Wait a second. Oh my God! Through the barricade there.
Hang on, whoa. That was unnecessary. Somebody go fix that. You're gonna allow the fans in the arena.
Well,
they're already handing stuff over the railing. We don't need their ability to get in the ring now.
As you saw, Whitmore was trying to shake out the cobwebs there. I'm wondering if that did more damage to him than it did to Scythe.
I mean, yeah, he went head first into that barricade, just like Scythe went back first into it. So that, I mean, high risk, high reward. If he can pin Scythe here, keep him down.
Oh, and a chop block, and this is the Whitmore we normally see. He hits that chop block, and he might be looking for the time shift. Adam D. Whitmore. Oh my God, this could be it. He's picking him up. The time shift there.
Oh!
Suplex into the back, or the double knee backbreaker. 1, 2, new 2. Oh my God!
Oh!
Off the ropes.
He tasted that.
That was so close. I mean, that was probably the longest 2 count of Adam D. Whitmore's career. and now Scythe firing on all cylinders. I think he realized, how close he was to losing, and he would lose his opportunity. And Lord only knows when the next time he'd get a title opportunity would be.
For sure. And I mean, there's not a champion right now.
Oh, the Reaper's cut! Jesus, out of nowhere. That was literally out of nowhere. 1, 2. A 2
back and forth kickouts between their finishers.
Well, at this point, what's it? That Scythe doesn't have anything. Yeah, Scythe doesn't have anything else. He's only got the Reaper's cut. We've never seen him do anything else. And then with Adam D. Whitmore, that time shift, we've never seen anybody kick out past. Oh, and the big miss there off the top rope, right on
Big miss.
And another we're seeing a lot of electric chair drops tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They're bringing them back, boys.
It's a new fad.
It is definitely that new fad. And Scythe now sending Whitmore into the ropes. He grabs a steel chair and right to the
sort of a glancing blow, but it
was just enough to send Whitmore back. But Whitmore,
for sure,
striking, just chops left and right, and then that cross chop across the throat there. What can Whitmore do? I mean, that's the thing. We've seen Whitmore's 2 finishes. We've seen his camel clutch, and then we've seen the time shift. And Whitmore's he's got to get something going here. He's got to do something, because the longer this match goes, the higher the probability is that his shoulder or ribs are going to get even worse.
That cross arm breaker, I don't know that's going to do it. He hasn't focused a whole lot on those arms, but with as long as this match is going on, it might just be enough to push Scythe over the breaking point.
Exactly, and but somehow Scythe getting himself out of that submission position. I love saying it like that because it's got a nice flow to it. And Scythe sending Whitmore into the turnbuckle the hard way there, going off the ropes of that face crusher. And now Scythe has got to. I don't know what else Scythe can do.
I don't know what either of these men can do.
Keep working on it. You just have to keep just doing what they're doing to constantly win. I mean, I guess you're going to have to be a little repetitive.
Another near fall there from from Scythe, from that elbow drop, and Adam D. Whitmore again gonna send Scythe to the outside with that knee lift, and that's not gonna do Scythe any favors. I mean, Scythe has taken quite a few spills from the inside of the ring to that mat on the outside, and this has been a pretty hardcore title match. I mean, and Whitmore looks like he tripped there.
I mean,
You get a little tired.
Yeah, you can just see the wear and tear on these guys. This has been a very, very physical title match.
Yeah, I mean we've seen some physical matches, but this is title match wise, I think this is probably one of the most physical TPP title matches we've seen in a while. And as you saw, Scythe completely missed on his attempted Superman punch in the corner there.
But it looks like he's got something else in mind, that hanging DDT.
And again, I mean, how much damage has...
He looks like he's out.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, how much damage has Whitmore received, through this match? And now that kendo stick, again, going to come into play here right to the ribs.
I think he's going to need to see a doctor after this, because
Whitmore was wincing in pain there from that kendo stick shot. But he's still getting back to his feet. Now Whitmore's got the kendo stick, and Steel's gonna beat Bamboo. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it's gonna happen. And Scythe now again, that jumping DDT, and Scythe, he's calling for it. This is the setup for the Reaper's Cut here. The Reaper's Cut on the steel chair.
That has to be it.
Yeah, Whitmore's not moving here.
yeah,
1,
it's done.
2, 3, and Scythe is the new TPP champion, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a very hard-fought victory for Scythe. I mean, Scythe cannot say that he ran through Adam D. Whitmore, because Whitmore gave him a true run for his money.
Yeah, and I think, in the end, that it's going to be exactly what we touched on at the beginning of this match, is going into it with that target directly in the middle of his chest, those injured ribs. I think that's really what's gonna, go down in history as what cost him the match.
Exactly. If you'd imagine if Adam D. Whitmore would have been 100%, I think
it would have been entirely different.
Yeah, I think we might have had a different end result too. And ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It's the end of the show, and we all of us here want to thank you for joining us tonight for TPP Wreckoning. It's been one hell of a ride. I've had a blast. I'm sure you guys had fun too.
For sure. I mean, this is a first for us. I mean, I can't wait to do it again.
Exactly. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we've got maybe 20 more seconds before it's going to cut us off the air. So on behalf of everybody from Full Screen, everybody in Creator X, I'm Christopher Billings.
Long through a mud prison to the local hanging tree. Look out a nation, a hold us in my soul. Lord, tell me where to be. And I said, sweet hell.